Welcome to another episode of D20 Theater. For today's recap, we have Haley.
Hello. When last we left our heroes, they had been looking for the murderer. We've been doing that for a couple episodes, but I think we're getting there. We talked to a bunch of people. One of those was the game house owner, Fleg. And he was really helpful. We learned that he was having, they were in a relationship, but it was a secret relationship. With,
Secrets are enough, right?
Shoot, what was his name? Branweir.
The murder victim.
Tony.
Oh yeah, the guy that died. Yeah. He was also in a game with Branweir and Thenrig. Thefren, sorry.
The man with the unrememberable name, apparently.
Yeah, Sam can't do it, I can't do it. It's whatever.
Sam can't remember any names, to be fair.
Sometimes he forgets.
Iron Lock.
Sam and I also successfully seduced Gendry.
Who is a courtesan, so they managed to seduce someone whose job it is to pretend to be terribly seduced.
That's right. Yeah.
Someone's got to take it.
And then Oz and I, again, having a great adventure by ourselves.
That's what we do.
We performed an autopsy.
An Oz-topsy, if you will. But I won't.
Anyway, and I was awesome at it. I was great. I nailed it. We also found some weird fungus inside his body.
Ooh,
And we were told
fungus.
that the priestesses had some weird funguses that could give life and take life. So
Is it funguses or fungi?
Fungi.
whatever. It's whatever.
Fungus.
It's been a while since
Funguses.
It's been a while since I fungi.
Since I've
And
done English.
we also got ambushed by some guys.
That happened.
It's true, we had a combat.
We talked to them.
One of the main one is the Royal Guard.
Exactly.
Yeah, sell it. Dude.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Screw him. Man.
Yeah. And now we're gonna go talk to someone.
He was a jerk.
All right.
We're going to go talk. Well, we
arrived.
just got done talking to the
Yeah.
Northern Hills.
Yeah.
Right,
So
you
we
had just arrived.
back
Oh,
at the
the
game
high
house
mountains.
and
High
found
mountains.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had just come back to the game house
Right.
and run into Dugard.
Doggood.
Doggood, who was a dwarven
Of the
priest
Dawn.
of the Dawn, the religion of Permacath.
Yeah.
Bit
And
curious.
he has a
And they're
really
crazy people.
he's a really shifty looking wood elf with him.
No, that
No,
was was it Mervin?
High Mountain.
Yeah.
Murder.
Urban.
The last thing that we discovered before ending the session is that not only is this priest declaring himself to be of a faith not native to his own land, but he also appears to be kind of lying about it. So extra special shifty, extra special shady, and that's where we'll pick up now, I guess.
All right.
I reckon.
Now, when last we left, we had just introduced ourselves to Doggood. Is that right?
Yes.
I had just introduced myself as a silencer, and he didn't know what that meant.
Right. So, as a reminder, Doggood is the one who is wearing the red quilted hood, sort of padded quilted material, and he had some silver chainmail, and he had a shield with the sigil of a sun on the back, and he had a short black beard. And there's Doggood, if you want to pass that around and show us the camera.
Oh, is that sexy guy?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Doggood's the false priest, probably.
Poopy.
Alright.
Well then,
Oh, God.
what is it that I can do for you then, my friend Silencer?
Well, we're here investigating the murder of Branweir. We're trying to look into it.
Oh, yes. I've heard of this murder. Quite a sad thing.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it is. What is it that you're... I beg your pardon, it's not often that I see someone of our faith in this part of the world. What is it that you're doing here?
Well, of course, I decided I would come down here and preach. I just returned, you see, from a pilgrimage of life. So I went across the world and I found myself at a great temple where a fellow talked to me about the Green Way and our one true Lord, Loramir. And there I saw the light for the very first time, literally, as it were. You see, the priests of Loramir, they believe that the light is holy. And so as they dipped me into the water and baptized me, I knew that forever I would dedicate myself to the Lord of Light, and I returned here to my people to proselytize.
What?
Preach.
Thank you. What? How do?
I'm rolling insight.
All right.
How do?
16.
All right. You can also add proficiency in religion if you're proficient in it.
Then that's I can add it again?
Yeah.
Oh,
If
so
you're proficient in religion.
19.
All right. So you know for a fact that when though baptized is a word they use.
Yeah, but it's not in
it's
water.
not in
It's
water.
in
They
light.
take them up to a tall tower and they open a skylight so that they can be bathed in
Yeah,
light.
so he's made that whole thing up. I mean, it's like he's heard roughly how the faith works, and he's just making it up.
That said,
How-
because of your insight check, you're pretty sure that what he's saying could fool your average dwarf.
Yeah.
How would a priest of Thrimakath, a priest of the Greenway, feel about me being a high priest of Yuan, the
You're
Green
with
Goddess
someone who's
of the
sort of
old.
a priest of Lorimir. That's
And he didn't register
Yeah.
for him.
It's true.
Most likely, probably wouldn't be a huge fan of you.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Where else did you travel on your pilgrimage?
Well, I went all over, you see. I travelled across the waste and Caneth and Thrimakath, and I found myself in all the different holds of Thrimakath. Soon I travelled northward to Gueran. I thought to head to Karash Haruk, but then I saw the orcs and I thought not!
They are orcs after all.
Yes, they are! And if you've ever met an orc, and I'm sure you haven't, but if you've ever met an orc, well,
Well,
Well, we've fought.
Yeah.
We've
Continue.
fought some orcs.
well, they're big, ugly, and they're made of muscle.
I agree with that. What brings you to Clary's Pass?
Well, as I said, I'm here to proselytize.
To who?
Preach the faith. The people of Clary's Pass, of course. The people here are a faithless lot. No offense, he says to a person who walks by and overhears that and just sort of goes, he says, no offense. He says, it's just that in Cordaldros, where I was raised, the people there, they all sort of, they worshipped the Church of the Three, and it was so nice for everyone to get along and worship and fellowship and the bonds of religion. And then I went to Thrimakath and I saw the same, but I thought, wow, Engorgen just doesn't have that. So I came back to Clary's Pass, where I first began my pilgrimage of life, and here I thought, I shall introduce to them a new faith. A faith that will shake their very boots.
in the old speech. I look over at you,
Oh, I know
Haley,
that.
and say, "He's lying. He does not belong to my faith."
Do you speak old speech?
And while
He narrows his eyes and looks at you and he says,
Oh no.
it's not polite to speak a different language.
Oh, then
Dealing
I
with a
hear
new
him do
friend.
that, and I like go really confused, and I speak to you in old speech, and I say, I'll just pretend that I don't speak any Dwarven or Common or whatever, and you can be my translator.
My friend doesn't wish to embarrass or offend. She is less comfortable with the common speech than she is with the old speech of
Oh.
the homeland.
Well, in that case, I apologize, miss.
And have...
Did he say that in common still?
In
Or did-
common.
okay, I was hoping that he wouldn't just go in the old speech. Go, my apologies.
I I
Dummy.
see him do that, and I obviously understand it, and I go, please.
And
Just go, yes.
Slowly, his mouth widens into a smile. And he says, well, she really doesn't speak the language at all, does she? Oh, well, you could just say whatever you like about her, couldn't you? And she wouldn't have anything to do about it.
I know, she's quite stupid,
That's quite
if you ask
silly.
me.
Oh,
You'd be
yes.
most unkind, however, Lorimir would frown upon such.
No, I wouldn't. It's just
Crass
the
attitude.
thought occurs to me it would be funny.
And have you shaken any boots here with this new faith?
Well, I've shaken my own quite a bit, but I've only just arrived, you see, just this morning, in fact.
Well, I wish you well on your proselytation.
Yes, well, I wish you well on your... What is it you're doing, actually?
We're investigating the murder of Branry.
Oh, yes, you did tell me that.
When
Yes,
did you
yes.
arrive into town?
This
What's
morning.
that?
You arrived into town today?
This morning, yes.
Where did you come from?
Where did I come from? Well, I of course came from the Waste. That was part of my route back from Thermicad. You see, I went through the line where I was given some aid by a group of knights, and I found myself back on this side of the mountain so that I could reach Karari's Pass.
What were you doing in the line?
Well, I was heading back this way so I could reach Karari's Pass. From Thermicad.
That makes no sense. So you went from Thermocath to the line,
Yes.
back to what? So what were you doing at the line in the first place?
Well, I was in Thermicad.
What?
We went around. He just came through.
I know, but you were in the waste, and I'm wondering why you were in the waste in the first place.
Well, I went from Thermicad through
Oh
the
my
line
God!
to the Waste. I think you're confused about the geography
Yeah,
here.
we're right, just
So
next to the
currently,
waste right now.
Karari's Pass, alright, is on
Northern
the
part
west
of-
side of the mountains.
Ah.
But it has a pass behind it, a road behind it, that leads to Thermicad. So to get here from Thermicad, he could either go up that or he could go through the line and come around.
But I'm wondering why he was at the line in the first place.
That's
Well, 'cause
the
he
way
was
to
coming
get
from
through.
Thermicad, that's the way through.
No, he was just journeying through Thermocath, and the way he was coming towards this way led him through the line.
It
And
would
then he just decided to come that way instead of taking the longer way around, which is what we did because we didn't want to go through the line with a bunch of Thermocathy refugees.
because there's kind of a war thing.
Yeah.
So,
Something like that.
did you ever? Did
Shut
you
your
ever?
mouth.
Did you ever encounter any battles or anything? Were you in any danger?
Oh yes, there was a time I was in quite a bit of danger, you see. There was a fellow by the name of the, what do they call him? The Steel Baron or something like that. He was fighting there with some of his men, and so I had to pass through and sneak through his lines in the dead of night with only a group of Thermocathy scouts to help me.
I'm rolling
Let's see if
inside
that
again.
story is true.
I got a 14.
19.
Ooh.
Alright, so right before he said, with only a group of Thermocathy scouts to help me, there was a brief pause as though he was trying to think of what happened next. Before that, it strung together pretty well.
Okay.
Hmm.
I don't know what that means. So, I don't
Yeah.
know.
So it's like he was maybe trying to
He's
decide
trying to
which
figure out
I just
what.
don't know
which side you're on, so he could decide which side of the story to place himself on. If he's allied with Thermocath, that sounds good if you're a Thermocathy, but not if you're from Caneth. So
And you can still be from Caneth and be from the Green Way, right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, most people from Caneth are, because of the fact that the only difference between the nations is that when Agar took power, because Rogir and Lef killed the old king, that king had a bastard son.
And he
so
factioned off.
exactly, the Iron Duke Reese was one of the few people who knew of this bastard son. Went and grabbed him and took him somewhere safe, because he was invited to the council where they chose who was going to be the new king and who was going to do all this stuff. They said, "We've killed Syrian the Beardless. We're doing this whole thing." And the Iron Duke was one of the leaders of the loyalist forces during that war, the Six-Fingered War. He was invited to the council, but cut off the head of the emissary who was sent to invite him and sent it back along with a message that said, "Treachery begets only treachery." And so then he left, and no one saw him for several years until suddenly Caneth announced itself, and they had allied with the Outlanders and the Narweens, who were very xenophobic, and it takes a lot to.
The Narweens though were pretty happy to ally against Lef and Rogir on account of how Lef kind of burned down their island. Oops.
So the Steel Baron is the head of Caneth right now.
Steel Baron's not a real guy.
That's what I was gonna ask
Yeah.
too. I was like, who
The
is
Iron
the Steel
Duke
Baron?
is
That's what
he's the Grand Duke of Caneth, as well as their Lord Knight. And the Iron Duke is the guy. He's an old guy now. He's in his 60s, but he's still a feared warrior, and he's the one who rescued the bastard son of Syrian and took him elsewhere to found the nation of Canaan. So he's sort of like a father figure to the king of Canaan.
So if this sounds like a lot of history going right to your ears and out the other ear, so go ahead and look at the description below. We have an obsidian portal. You click on there, it has history of Belarath,
Yeah,
which
there's a
our
lot of
DM
stuff.
created. So if you want to know the history that they're talking about, just go check out Obsidian Portal.
So, the Steel Baron. Yes, he, I believe, is Lord Regent of Thermocath, right?
No. He's more of an important fellow in Caneth, I believe.
Yes, of course. Well, I don't
And-
know what to say.
Being a religious man such as yourself, could you tell me the baptism process again? Because in my Greenway, we are baptized mainly with, the green. And so I was wondering how the process was of baptism. I'm very excited
it's
about
quite
it.
simple, really. It's quite simple. We are taken down, if you would wish to join the Church of the Greenway, you're taken down to a river where you are dipped in the river, and when you come out of the river, you are now a member of the church.
Actually, I was going to ask him that. I don't follow a god right now, and I was wondering if you would do the honors of me being your first.
That is quite an honor, unfortunately.
Oh.
The nearest river is outside of the city, and it is roughly a day's ride from here.
How unfortunate.
There's an underground stream from where the people here draw their water, but it's much too small.
Could we make that work? It's too
Well,
small,
there
you
is,
said?
in situations such as this, there is a protocol. He says, what we can do is this, is you could fetch a bowl of this water, and I could dump it on your head and proclaim you a member of the church.
Does that sound fine to you?
That would be the one of the other the method. Trying not to call it the Methodist way. Sorry.
So all we need is water. Not light, but what we need is water.
You just messed.
Alright.
He says, well, no, it wouldn't be light carrying a whole bucket of water, I suppose.
It wouldn't.
Right. Well, let's go fetch it then. Where can we find a bowl?
Now there's a question. You might have to go down to the market for that if you don't have one on you.
You know what? If you stay here, I will go fetch one.
Very well, I'll stay right here then.
Oh wait, I did read that there might be 2 priests a part of this baptism. Just so happens, I have a friend coming into town, and he is of the Green Way.
Oh, well, very well, good.
Perfect.
Aren't you though? Why can't he just?
Should I roll deception on that? Okay.
He's gonna do everything.
6.
Well, excellent then. Tell your friend that I wait for him.
Perfect.
I leave to go get the bowl.
Get the ball, yeah. All right.
I just kind of look at my friends like, I might know what I'm doing. Kind of like a yes/no thing.
Now, wasn't there a hymn that we're supposed to sing when being baptized?
He's like, I don't know. I'm
of
the
course
heathen.
there is.
Could you teach us so we could sing with you?
Of course, it goes like this. Loromir on high we love, light shines down on the waters. Loromir, please bless us all of your sons and daughters. Loromir, welcome to the church.
Alright, how
Is this guy? Oh my
bastardized
God.
of a hymn was that?
You recognize that its tune is roughly one that is an actual hymn.
But he's just invented lyrics.
Yes.
That's what
Sort
it
of like our DM just did.
What? No, I prepared that.
Yeah.
Sam.
It's us.
And in the old speech again, then I say, I don't know what exactly it is that he's playing at, but I know that he has never been a part of the Church of the Green Way.
Kill him.
I'm not entirely certain what he's trying to do here.
Okay, and then I turn to him and I say,
I don't know where he's right there.
in very broken common, I say,
Good start.
Song. Beautiful.
Yes, yes, it is a beautiful song. One of my favorite hymns.
He's also
I look to
invented.
you.
In Old Speech again, I say he's also invented all of the lyrics for that song.
And I say, good. And then I try to say another word, but it comes out as like horseradish.
He smiles and he looks to you and he says, despite the communications, it's been a while, of course, since I last heard the old speech, but it sounded like you were saying that she liked the lyrics.
Well, yes. Yes, she did.
Yes. But and she wanted to know who invented them?
Yes.
Well, I couldn't tell you that, unfortunately. We would have to look in one of the holy hymnals.
Do you carry one?
I do not. Unless, and it gestures down to his belt where he has a book of Lorimir. But next to it is just sort of a hanging strap that's torn, and he says, I lost it on my way here.
Is that a book of Lorimir?
That is, yes.
Do you mind if I peruse it?
Of course. He hands it to you.
Oh no.
Perhaps you will learn something of our God.
Not likely.
Looking at the Book of Lorimir, is it just the genuine thing? He's
It's
just
the
got
real
one.
thing?
Yeah.
It is? Okay, cool.
No.
Probably just picked
He's
it
just
up.
managed to get things wrong.
I'm gonna
when
like
he's
pick your
talked
nose a
about
little bit
He's
and
like,
be like,
"Alright."
good.
Yeah, right.
Good.
This is my favorite page.
them. Befouled.
Yeah, just like
You can also see that all through it, it has notes. It has like different things, like you might do if you were studying a
A religious
book.
text.
He
Or
stole it.
Shakespearean text.
He
or
stole it
Shakespearean
from
text.
someone.
He's scanned it.
Yeah.
sketching. Is there a signature on like if you know on your book
Like one of
there's a
those presented
signature
to
and then
things.
there's might be a signature on the back. Is there one on the front or the back?
There is none in either.
Cooper. Okay. I hand the book back.
Dude, I don't know what to do with this guy.
Takes it and he hangs it back in a little socket on his belt.
While this questioning has been eye-opening, to say the least, I'm more curious about this murder of Ranrir that we are to address. We've heard that you have been asking around about it yourself.
Well, yes, of course. Lorimir's light shines every way.
Does he do that gesture correctly?
It's not a real gesture. He
That's what I
just
thought.
is doing
He just
that,
did a
yeah.
thing.
Well, I do not know what that means, but what have you been able to glean about this murder?
Well, it seems that this fellow Thefrin might have cheated. If you find any evidence to that effect,
We still
I
need
would
to
be
talk
very
about it.
interested.
Yeah,
We're still
yeah
never
we
dead.
have not talked to him yet.
Yes.
Oh boy. We're doing this in the opposite order, probably.
He kind of looks around, and then he says, also,
Here we go.
Leaning in.
I have heard
Nick, get in here.
Nick,
that
come on.
before his death, Branrir discovered a mithril mine, a new lode that he intended to turn into a mine, that is. And he offered Flegg a stake in it.
I see.
Apparently this mithril lode is what he had intended to use to pay off some old debts and to retire on. And he had hoped that Flegg might be able to retire on it too.
It's very curious.
From what I've heard, there might be a map to this lode floating around somewhere. The person who got their hands on that map, since he didn't claim the lode before he died, would be very rich indeed.
I tap Greg on the shoulder in an old speech. I say, "What
Who's
do
Greg?
you say? Whatever."
That is. I actually will just repeat it honestly from what he just said.
Cool.
So in case
So
he
you got to
was
hear
in case he
it
was
twice.
listening, if he
Yeah.
has some like rudimentary knowledge of old speech, he would have caught, mine, map, location, rich.
This is rather sensitive information. Where did you hear this?
Well, some sources come directly from the light.
Good God.
Yeah, I look a little
Right.
grossed out.
Delight, yes. So from outside of the city, is that your assertion?
No. From God.
When's the last
Right.
time you heard anything about the map?
Well,
Well.
I heard about it earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when he got into town.
And that would be the last time.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I'll leave the game room.
Let me know when I'm back with the bowl.
It's funny.
Alright, you're right back at the ball.
I think there's going to have to be a confrontation now.
Like you're gonna get up and leave.
I found one. Let's get started.
Excellent. Well, just stand there in the center of the room.
Okay.
Oh no, I'd come back in to watch this.
Am I doing this right?
You're
Do I
doing
hold my
exactly
hands
right.
up like
Yes,
this?
just like that.
Ah.
And now I will say a few words.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Oh, louder.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, well, in that case.
We need the whole
light
experience.
be upon us as your son comes into the fold for once. His eyes...
Do I close my eyes?
You close your eyes for now, and then I'll tell you when to open them. So, his eyes once were closed by darkness. Close them still. But now in the light, may they be opened so that he may see. Yes, and now you may open your eyes.
Is the
And he raises the bowl,
Song-
and then Flag from the other side of the room says, "What are you doing? Boy, you better not pour water all over my floor." And he looks away and he says, "What a shame. I suppose we can't perform the ceremony. It'll have to wait."
What is it that you said you...
song.
What is it that you said that you studied? The
What
book
did I
of Boromir?
study? Oh, well, all through Thrimakath.
Yes, but you said you met a priest.
Yes, a priest by the name of Sylvan.
Do I know that priest's name? I mean, I don't know every priest of Boromir, but it's just...
Yeah, they all know each other, Greg.
But,
Who's Greg?
Yeah, who's Greg?
Nice.
Creflo Dollar.
What? I agree with that
but I would
statement.
know most of the higher ranking priests.
Yeah,
Or at least know
yeah,
the
the
names.
ones that, you'd heard of them.
Yeah. And so I don't know that name. And they never would have mentioned to you that in the Church of Dawn we don't baptize with water. We use light.
Aha!
Who is it that you're trying to fool, priest?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm simply a traveling preacher. Looking for new disciples.
I'm gonna ready an action.
I'm not even rolling inside.
Yeah.
there.
I'm-
This is gonna be the fight, and you didn't draw it. This is the so the.
You can see now that there's several people all around that have gathered and are watching this now that
Don't
it's looking.
antagonize him.
I'm
And
gonna
are
ready
they
an action.
looking at him and then at us like they're gonna jump in, or are they just watching?
They're just watching for now, but it's gone quiet and everyone's
I
listening.
just sort of put my hand on Greg's
I'm Thaddeus.
shoulder, or Thaddeus's shoulder. I
Don't
pull,
worry.
I pull him back a little bit, and in old speech, because can't speak common right now,
Right?
so no one else could understand me.
Unfortunately.
I
I can.
good. I tell him that now is not the time.
I think it might be exactly.
I agree with
I
that.
think
Yes.
Thaddeus is gonna make it
I think in common.
I say it in old speech. I agree with Thaddeus.
And then I look back at the.
Now you
at
know
the
something
false,
real's about to happen.
at the false priest. Say, who is it that you're trying
I
to
don't like
deceive?
false priests.
Peddler of the false ways.
Well, you're too smart for your own good, aren't you?
Whoa!
He says, why don't we talk somewhere else?
No.
I
No,
thank
no.
you all for your pleasant audience and company. And he bows to the people there, and he says, "Let us depart these peeking eyes."
Yes.
Um, I grab my walking stick, aka my quarterstaff, and say, Act 2 will begin sometime later next week.
Well, then think back where it came from or something.
It's a helmet. And
we still need ushers.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go with him to wherever he's.
He leads you to a
good.
An alleyway.
Dark alley.
Alley.
Oh, okay.
Alley.
back to the inn that
Oh.
you're staying at, and he's staying there as well. And he takes
Great.
you up to his room.
Is this the same one that my business partner is staying in?
No, that's the other one.
What's his name?
Maybach.
Maybe.
He
You don't
sits
get to have a
down
business
and
if
he
you
sort of
forget your
sits
partner's
on the bed, and he takes off his pack, and underneath the shield, as he lays the shield down on the ground, you see that the inside of the shield is circled with daggers, all the blades.
Whoa!
pointing inward. And he sets that down and pulls open the Book of Loramir, and as he opens it, he turns to a page and he says some words over one of the pages, and they all
Nice.
turn back to spell scrolls.
Oh shoot!
And he sets that aside
Oh no.
and says, "So, you saw through my little ruse. I guess now's the time to tell you I am fluent in the old speech of men."
Right.
I assumed you might be. Yes.
He says, "My name is Barak, womb brother to Branrear."
Whoa. Bum 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 bum.
And what is it that you're really doing here?
My presence here is twofold. For one, I was summoned by Branrear. He feared he and Bello might be in danger once these two companies came in and started speaking with him. He says, and he told me, of course, about his mithril load.
That makes sense.
I have half of the map here, and he tears it out of the Book of Lorimir. Says, but only half. I don't know where the other half is.
Maybe we can just guesstimate.
Guesstimate?
Yes.
It's like estimate and guess.
Right,
together.
no, I understand the portmanteau.
Yeah.
I think it's a silly word.
Ah.
Also, I have this. He tears out another half of a map, and he sets it down. He says, "Oh, but that one's a fake. I'd planned to use it to draw out whoever had the other half of the real map."
Oh, good idea.
He says,
What was his name?
Or something.
Barak.
"But when I got here this morning, I found out my brother was dead. Now my primary purpose is to ensure that the murderer pays blood for blood."
And that seems entirely reasonable to me.
In fact, that is our goal as well.
So-
we're glad to have you with us.
Why did you keep up the ruse for so long if you knew we were trying to find Branrear's murderer?
Well, there was no way I could be sure that you were actually trying to find a murderer. You might have heard of my reputation or recognized me from elsewhere. Outsiders especially. You could have recognized me.
He's been
Actually, do
we
do
know
we
him?
recognize that name?
No, you don't.
Okay. Yeah, I guess not.
I'm afraid I can't say that I have heard of you. You look well equipped to have dealt with any trouble that might have come. How many spell scrolls are you carrying?
Quite a lot. I find them wherever I can. Anytime I kill a wizard, I take his spell book and copy them onto scrolls. I've become quite proficient with it.
So, are you a priest of something else then?
No, not at all. Not at all. I just dabble in the arcane arts. He says, I'm a mercenary, or a bounty hunter. I came out of Karari's Pass a long time ago. There wasn't enough work here for me. I was no good at any old crafts. Not like Branrear's kid, Bello. That kid knows how to work a forge. But no, not for me. Not for me. So I went across the wastes. Fell in with a fellow a while back by the name of Urin, to his elegant.
Wait, I know that name.
Yeah.
You do, actually, from a different campaign.
Yep. Yeah, it was
there we go.
right
Yeah.
at the beginning
But
of.
is that still like canon stuff?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
Elemental Evil.
campaign was. No, that was before Elemental Evil.
Oh,
that
what?
was the campaign of the Waste, like when we were exploring the Waste. Very
Oh.
briefly, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one that ended with quite the bang.
Yeah. He says,
Everybody blew up.
no, that's a different campaign still.
Oh, that wasn't the waste. Oh,
No.
my God,
Get
what am I
it
doing?
together.
Alright.
Okay, was that during the heroes, the prisoners,
None
or
of
the
those.
explorers?
None of those.
Okay.
It was the one where you were exploring the Waste. It started with the haunted house, where there was the guy, the hanged man, who had been wrongly convicted.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
I can't remember who we were even playing.
I know
Anyway.
your character's no longer canon from that. Yours was a kobold.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Yeah, that's
that
the one with the 12 ogres on
The
it.
Japanese.
Yeah, yeah, the Japanese
Yeah.
kobold. Before
Yeah, yeah.
Colby was like, "That's dumb. We won't
So
have
he
those."
says, he says, anyhow, fell in with a fellow by the name of Urin to his Elgin from Edelheim. We traveled for a while. Then I got the summons from my brother and came back here.
So, do you know anything about his son, Bello?
A little bit. I met him. I knew him better when he was younger, before he went off to train with Tudila. And then I saw some of his crafts once he came back. He pulls off one of the daggers, the most finely made of any of them. And he holds it up and he says, "That's one of his pieces."
It matches
Matches
the work of
The other dagger
one.
that we
It
pulled
doesn't.
out of the- Oh,
It doesn't match the one that
Oh.
you found in the lab.
Yeah, the other one
yeah.
was cord.
No, it doesn't match that one, but it's fine work, and it is similar. I mean, it's some similar cultural influences. And it's this
Similar.
time that you see the daggers that surround his shield. They're all strapped on the inside of his shield there. Almost all of them are from different makes, cultures, and things like that. So they're from all over the world.
I will say that Bello is being tutored under Tudila, and
He was a long time ago, yeah.
and he's not anymore.
No, he graduated a while ago. She was his mentor while he was just an apprentice.
there appears to still be a fondness between them, but she's no longer directly his tutor.
Oh yeah, kid always liked Tudila. She always liked him too. He's a hard worker and a good kid.
What is their age difference?
Tudila and Bello, she's only a couple hundred years older.
Okay.
So, good dwarf man.
Like 10 years older.
You speaking common now? Just drop the roots. Why bother?
No, I'm still speaking in an old speech.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the difference? Like in human years.
Like 10, right?
My people can live for
Yeah, like 500 or 600 years.
400 to 600 years.
Yeah.
That doesn't answer my question.
So a couple
a
hundred years older is
A couple of decades,
Yeah.
perhaps, for a human. 20 and 40, say.
Oh, good.
You.
Are you asking if they might be romantically
Did-
entangled?
Did Tudila have any love for Branrear, specifically?
not that I know of. Branrear was never particularly religious like his son was, so she always wanted that to change, and so did Bello, to be honest.
How badly did she want it to change?
Enough to kill him.
No more than she would
do.
care about you or your friends here or even me.
It's,
And if he was conspiring to sell a property to open a trade route through one of her temples,
Well, that might do it. That might do it, in fact.
there is quite the possibility that that is the case.
I hadn't heard anything about that.
Yes, Branre's property was being possibly scouted out by a couple of different orders.
Right,
mercenary
yeah, the
orders.
high mountains and the deep roads.
yes.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But
What's this about a temple?
There is an old temple to the three that would lie in the way. There was concern, perhaps, that one or both of the companies would simply go through rather than around because it would be cheaper and more expedient. You can imagine that the priests of the three don't much care for that. Enough so that, well, whoever it is that has done something here has convinced warriors of the three that we are conspiring against their gods. We were recently attacked by a group of dwarves led by one of the royal guard,
Interesting.
who had a writ declaring that we were enemies of the three and working actively to foil their influence in Kyrie's Pass. Kyrie's Pass.
Career pass?
What'd you say?
Career Pass, Kyrie. I
Oh.
had it a little
Don't
wrong.
That's,
never take Crowry's heart.
That's something I hadn't heard
Darkness
yet.
is the heart.
Something I hadn't heard.
It only very recently happened.
An interesting development.
I would say so.
Does that change your mind about anything?
I don't know if Branrear would sell to someone who was going to dig through the temple. Branrear himself wouldn't care, but I know that if Bello found out about it, he'd never live it down.
Thefram, however, is not so conscientious about his faith.
Yeah, I've heard Thefram's name here and there from Branrear. From what I hear, Thefram would do just about anything for a quick bar.
That seems to be the case, yes.
So, I'm assuming you want us to take the fake map and draw out the other side of it.
If you'd be so kind.
I don't know where to start, though.
We could start with Thefram. We have not yet spoken with him, and we need to question him anyway.
Well, we could just start spreading the information. We could start with the games house. There's
We don't have
plenty
quite
of
enough
patrons
time
there.
for a conspiracy now.
Well, if
We have mere hours before the decision is made.
I think we should talk to Thefram.
Who all have you talked to so far?
so far we've spoken to the people who were there. So far we've spoken to those who were at the game, besides Thefram himself. We've spoken to Bello, both of the priestesses, the adjudicator, what's his actual title? The
Arbiter.
the arbiter. The arbiter.
Mervyn of the High Mountains
Yes,
and his she-elf.
Mervyn of the High Mountains, his associate, and a local out-of-town entrepreneur by the name of Maybeck.
Interesting. You haven't spoken to Deep Roads yet, then?
We've not spoken with Lafir, no.
Look, there's one more thing you should know. Says,
Spins ever thicker.
when Bello called me in, he said that, or when Branweir called me, I'm sorry, he said that Mervyn was making veiled threats against Bello. Nothing outright, but he was suspicious.
Interesting.
Told you he did it.
Totally did it.
Totally did it.
I don't think he would dirty himself by doing it himself.
Well,
he would get one of his assistants.
He would have done it.
Thaler, exactly. He did seem a little too nice, didn't he?
These threats.
There's no such thing as too nice.
What was? Did Brenner communicate what Mervyn was threatening?
Nothing specific in his letter. He just said that he was worried about Bello, that this fellow Mervyn was putting him on edge.
That Mervyn was putting pressure on Bello? Is that what you said?
Putting pressure on Branrear
Yeah.
with Bello was like
Bait.
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Using Bello to put pressure on Brainry, kind of thing. Right.
I think we should go speak with the Deep Roads people.
You've been honest with us, so here's what we have so far. And so just real quickly, we'll just kind of outline what we have.
Cool.
We performed an autopsy on Branrear and found the only sign of foul play that we found was
That
a
ties
mysterious
to Bello and
fungus,
Jadila.
which would have come from deep. We found that dagger, which was used to cut his bonds. We
It
have
also came from the deep.
It also came from the deep. We have the word of, I think it was Mervyn, that told us that he saw Tudila coming back out of the place where he was murdered. However, Mervyn, super shady, probably totally did it.
And
Tadila also told Arthra that she saw Mervyn talking with the Arbiter, and then he left and the Arbiter was
Yeah,
crying.
there appears to be some mutual
Yeah.
And the Arbiter was crying?
Mm-hmm. Weeping, in fact.
That's pretty crazy.
So nothing crazy with the peaceful mother.
No, not really.
Which is just kind
Other
of,
than that, she doesn't speak common.
yeah, or just won't speak
doesn't.
common.
Maybe it's
No,
just
she only speaks to women.
oh, cool. Well, I can understand Jordan.
Yeah. I think we should go now to speak with Deep Roads and we'll
We
tell
should
you.
or shouldn't?
Should.
It sounded like
When are we
should.
gonna
Sorry.
talk to Thefren?
last, apparently.
Last. We need to talk to him last.
We will
Well,
take
we need
the
to
fake
see how
map
everyone
and
feels
do
about
some
him
more
and then go
investigating.
speak to him.
Right.
Where
Well,
would
let
you
me know
sit?
what you find out.
Where would you suggest that we plant the fake map? You must have had a plan.
If he knew, he would
Well, I
have
was
done it.
hoping
Well,
to.
we haven't started
I
yet.
think we
Honestly.
should plant it with Mervyn.
I was hoping to sort of spread the word that I was looking for the other half of a map, make it seem like I didn't want people to know that, and see
See who bites.
exactly.
Keep doing that.
I will.
Let us know what you find.
Right then.
I would tell you to be safe, but clearly you have that figured out.
Keep an eye too. There's another guy looking into this. An actual priest of the Green Way, I think. A fellow by the name of Nullius.
Oh,
Yes, it's the paladin.
Right.
And we have
Be
we've
wary
spoken
of
with
him.
I don't know. I don't know him, but he's an outsider, and I don't know why he's here. I haven't had a chance to speak with him yet.
His reputation is well known. He seems to be on the up and up.
we have dealt with him previously in our time here.
All right. Well, if you think you can trust him, then go for it. I just don't know who he is yet.
That seems fair. Right. We're going to speak with Deep Roads then, or Thefren?
Best for last.
Oh my god, I hate him. In
Deep
Old
roads
Speech,
it is.
I say goodbye to him, but I do it like really awkwardly and like I'm embarrassed and I've dug a hole that I can't get out of even though he's giving me an out and I'm just like I don't know what to do
He
anymore.
smiles widely and in Old Speech says, off with you then. I hate you.
And I look really like
I gotta go.
Finger of death.
And scene.
Alright.
Powered kill.
So, you want to go see Lufir then?
Uh-huh.
Alright.
Yeah. There's not really like a, on the way there, can we kind of bump into someone and be like, hey,
Who do you want to bump into?
anytime you think about a map? I kind
Maybe
of,
like
I would actually be interested to know if Fleg had heard anything about it.
And
Like,
maybe
would
we
have
can
a-
find like an
Suit.
alley magician who has like some secret tower that we can rest in that lives outside of time, so we can be a level 4.
Oh, okay, that guy. That
No
guy.
time
Gotcha.
has- You let me know.
Play a card.
Can we take a long rest in 30
Yeah,
minutes?
so we'll bump into Flag, I think, on our way there,
Alright.
and I'll just kind of
Yes, you bump into
Ask if
Flag.
he's-
He's like coming out of the game's house to drop some stuff outside, some garbage.
our investigation has turned up something a little bit interesting that I thought you might.
What's that you found?
We found half of a map
What?
to something on Branriz land. It looks like a load of.
Where'd you find that?
Just during the investigation, there was.
Oh, already.
Right.
What was that?
Well,
We've been all over the.
did you take it from somebody? Somebody else had it?
Yes, in fact, it was on the.
Stage whisper.
It was on the men that attacked us. Do you have the other half of this?
You're being really quiet.
Shut the fuck.
Rupia. Pulls it out and he says, I've got it. Well, I'm not going to give it to you.
No, that
You're
makes
going to have to
sense.
give me your half. Bramble gave this to me because he trusted me. This is my retirement. Then what? Then I'll be retired. 'Cause this is the only hope I got.
Is that what you put up during the game?
I told you what I put up during the game.
No, you didn't.
No, he
You
didn't.
told us
He
it was
wouldn't tell us.
personal.
He said it was personal.
Oh,
He would never
no,
tell
but,
us.
somebody did. It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gendry did.
Gendry told you.
Oh.
His hand, I think, is what it was.
Yeah, he said that if he won, he wanted,
Oh, Branner to like settle down with him,
Right.
and Branner was like, "Nope." Okay, got
Oh,
it.
that's
Never
right.
mind. So I didn't say that because
It's been a while.
Sorry, yes, it has been a little while.
Sniff it. I'm not gonna feed it to her.
Him.
Him?
Well, that's very interesting indeed that he has the other half of it.
So you
Huh.
gonna give it to him?
let me check on
Um,
the cat's eating.
Yeah, I'll.
So should we give it to him?
I don't know. I don't know.
She's licking her foot.
He's got. It's kind of too late now
Because we're supposed
because
to.
now now
if
he knows that
has
I
the
have
real
it.
piece, then we need it. How are
We
we gonna
kind
get
of
it?
well we don't need it too much. We just kind of.
Well, why does
We
he
would
want
like
it?
to have
Didn't
it.
we leave the fake map with?
He was gonna spread the word around that he had part of it.
No, we
okay,
have it.
not the,
yeah.
okay, all right, gotcha. I think I'm.
Right. And so I have the fake half, and I guess I'll say after we've managed to sort this out, then we'll be sure to give this to you. What do
Well,
you?
you better bring that back. That's all I got left of him. It's his final gift to me.
No, I understand.
He gave it to me.
Jeez.
Did he give you the entire map?
Not just his half. He told me once he sold his land, he'd give me the other half.
This is 17 for insight.
Why?
Is he
I
telling the
mean, it
truth?
definitely seems like he cares immensely about this.
Do we know why he gave it to him?
Because I'm assuming it's because they were like, lovers.
Lovers.
Well, yeah, but he didn't want to marry him, so
Well,
why
yeah,
would he give
but
him
that doesn't mean he doesn't care.
Okay.
He can't. he can't be seen publicly
Just because of society.
affiliated with him because of it would like that dude's shame would rub off on Branmir's son.
Because Flag was the one who returned from the pilgrimage of hate alive.
Yeah.
Just
So,
seems-
but he can take.
Is that-
He still cares about him, so presumably he would have wanted him taken care of, or maybe Flag totally killed him and took that part of the map. I don't know. Because how does? Sorry,
You
back
also
up a little
remember
bit.
that when you found the body, his purse was cut open.
That's true. So who had the other half of the like? Where did Baroque say he got the other half?
He got it from Branmer.
From Branmer. Mm-hmm.
Well, why would Fleg do it if... That doesn't make sense. If Branrir wanted Fleg to be with him and Fleg said no, that doesn't make sense to me.
What we now
He's
have.
probably framing theft.
Flag didn't say no.
Yeah.
Branner.
Flag and Branmer both wanted to be together, but when Flag asked for Branmer's hand, Branmer said no, because Flag's
I thought it was the other way
would
around.
rub off on Bello.
Now
Okay.
it seems
But
a
then
little
they both
shady.
got drunk during the gambling,
Yeah.
and Branmer agreed that if he lost the hand, he'd marry Flag.
All right, we now. One of two people is now keeping something really big from us, because Branmer's purse was cut, and that's where he was holding the other half of the map. I would
Presumably.
assume, maybe not, but presumably. And so, assuming that's the case, if I can make that assumption, either Flag or Baroque is super lying to us right now, because both of them said he gave it to me, or that's an incorrect assumption
Somebody
that it
could
was
have
in his
known that he
purse.
had maybe somebody thought that he had the other side of the map, and so they cut the purse looking for it, but
Maybe.
it wasn't there.
Maybe.
Or maybe they just wanted his gold. Maybe they're just passing bandits who happened to kill the wrong guy.
Can we
Now
go
it's a
speak
mess.
to Deep Roads?
Yeah, let's go to Deep Roads.
Deep Roads? Alright, so heading to...
There's a lot of ifs right now. Let's just go find out.
Heading to the small office that
Oh,
the
we're
Deep
never gonna
Roads
figure this out.
have taken.
We will.
Currently,
This
it's
is what they can't.
it's a very small office from the outside. When you open it up, it's very finely decorated on the inside. And there's a very plump fellow with his hair all pulled back. It looks, in fact, as though he's probably balding right here, but he's pulled back his bangs and
Trumping
grown
it.
them out long enough
Yes.
that he can pull it into a long braided ponytail. And he's got several braids of his beard and sort of heavy eyes with dark circles under them. He's sort of scribbling something on a contract as you walk in.
So
Hello?
this is the non-Caneth lover, correct?
Correct.
Ah, I
Hello.
thought he was.
Well, hello there.
Oh Lord.
I awkwardly curtsy because
Look, I already told your friend that there's no way our companies are going in on this together.
Oh
Either
God.
they're who I am.
No. We're not here on behalf of. What's his name? Maybeck. Yeah. No, we're
Mervyn.
not.
Mervyn.
Mervyn.
No, it's Maybeck.
No, he's
He's
referring to
he's-
Thela, the other elf.
No,
I assure you, she is not as financially savvy as the other.
you would have.
We are here
Oh,
to
well, they could be sisters, they could. Look just like.
they,
Racist.
Do-
I'm
do-
a
do
little
they-
offended.
I don't know. How similar do you look to that picture?
Almost.
Actually, it's pretty.
I
That's
gotta
pretty
admit,
close.
yeah.
It's not even really a racist thing. We do look pretty similar.
At this point, she's like, well, maybe we have like a common ancestor.
Well, you have red hair, right?
Yeah, she has red hair, and I have green eyes, and she has green eyes, and I'm a wood elf who's pale. So I mean, it's
Yeah, so
kinda-
you look. Wow, a wood elf
Are
with
you
green
wearing
eyes who's
brown lipstick
pale and
as
skinny.
well?
I'm
No.
sure that's really.
So I'm offended at
Maybe
first,
it's
and then I think
natural.
about it, and I go.
Nice.
No. We're independent agents investigating the matter of Branria.
Oh, well then. What can I do you for? I was very sorry to hear about that murder, and I offer my deepest condolences.
I'm sure the family appreciates it.
Don't mind her.
That was out of character. I just thought it would be really funny to be like, well, then don't turn down the temple! But that's not, we're not doing that.
All right, Haley.
She's on crack.
Apparently,
Something, guys.
If you've ever seen her
Drugs are
have,
bad for you.
if you've ever seen Haley have like
A third.
a third of a glass of Mike's Hard Lemonade,
It's about like that.
If you've done crack and This is
I've
similar to
had
what you've
4
gone through.
hours
Leave
of
a
sleep
comment.
last night, so
That's true.
something-
She's been watercoloring all morning. But she got up at 5 to watercolor.
Something's in those cookies.
it was in class. For class.
Speaking of
Oreo.
cookies, would you pass me one?
Ah.
Yeah, give us a
We're
round,
on a
buddy.
tangent.
Yeah, I want one.
We're on a tangent.
Hello, sir. We'd love to speak to you about the prospects of using deep roads to build a path to the line.
Well, unfortunately, I don't believe that you currently have the authorization to do that. Unless you are the inheritors of Branria's territory,
I am.
you are not. That was a sardonic remark, sir.
No.
Show her the map. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
He says, no, until the judge has made his calling this night, I'm afraid I'm unable to treat with anyone. I've drawn up 2 contracts just in case.
What do each one say?
One's to Bello and one is to Thefron.
Your friend here has all the lights on upstairs.
And you'll recall I asked for a cookie and everyone.
Wow.
Single
Greg's
tear.
the one that got
I did not get a cookie, so I'm just saying.
Alright, well that's
Do
why
you
I
want
love
one?
you more than I love them.
That's right.
you. What?
Yes, that is
What?
the only reason.
I'm sorry.
Whoa, I'm sensing some favoritism. Can we back on a little
Okay,
bit?
can we recall the first episode? Everyone got like 3 inspiration,
That's
and I
true.
got 0.
Besides, Nick, if it makes
You
you
don't
feel better,
talk.
I've known you longer than I've known any of them.
I got the butter though.
That's
so.
true.
All right, guys, let's get back.
Anyway,
Lord.
So distracted.
so you're not able to treat with us on matters of business, I understand that. But do you have any information that might help us uncover...
By the way, here's this guy.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, good idea.
Hand it over.
Whoa.
He does look kind of sad.
Oh,
He's
incoming
just
character picture. Let's go. What's it look like?
Wow, that is not how I
Sad.
thought that was spelled. What's with all the H's?
That's how dwarves
Dwarves,
spell their
man.
names.
Dwarves, dude.
It's Lucifer.
No.
That's what it looks like.
no.
That's close. Yeah, no, Loof here.
No, so what were we gonna say?
Do you have any information that might help us uncover who actually is the rightful owner of the property? Any information about the murder, the night of the game? Anything?
Well, I don't know anything about none of that. I wasn't there. I'm willing to deal with Thefrim or Bello, whoever I need to deal with. I had made preliminary agreements on a deal to purchase Branria's dive for just 9 mithrils. He said that it was important to his son that the temple remain standing.
Yes.
And so he said that thanks to, originally he was going to charge me 13. But he said that thanks to some recent acquisitions, and he didn't go into detail on any of that, but thanks to recent acquisitions, he would be able to charge me only 9 if I agreed to not build through the temple.
And Bello said that, right?
Well, Bello convinced his father. That's what Branmere was telling me. I never spoke with Bello, you understand. Anyhow,
Ooh, this is getting.
I am.
Now-
Out of character, that would be the mine.
Yeah, I see where this is tilting to. Yeah.
he says, now, of course, I don't see how the boy's gonna afford that if he gets the land, so I'm afraid my deal will be cut short.
You
And
don't
of
think
course,
Bello's going to be
Thefrim-
able to afford it?
But how would it? If I don't know what this recent acquisition is, he implied that very few people did. So if Bello doesn't have any word of this recent acquisition, then I'm afraid he'll have to charge me more.
Perhaps he recently came into a lot of money and willed it to his son.
Well, I hope that he did. However, it's looking more and more like the land's going to be going to Thefrim. And if that's the case, then I will not be able to divert the route. For Thefrim will not accept the lower price, I assure you. I've been told he's not a religious man.
No, he's not. That's what we've heard as well.
And how would you feel about blowing through the temple?
I don't mind much one way or the other. What's important to me is that I get an excellent deal. If I were to get the deal of 9 mithrils, then I could afford to use the remaining funds left in the budget to build around the temple. However, if they were to charge more, I would not be able to build around, as my funds would be short.
So you're a man of money.
I am. That is why I'm in this position.
I have a
You're
proposition
never
for you
going to make
Offer the
this.
deal.
And what proposition is that?
to make you more money.
Wonderful. Well, That one was wonderful. And what, sir, is it that you propose?
If you buy this land and create the corridor to the front line, how would you feel about your very own
Oh no.
shop on
Never gonna work.
the road? That way, everyone who passes through it has to stop off. You need supplies, don't you?
Not sure.
I'm afraid, sir, that I have more important things to worry about. Who all of you asked at this point?
Huh?
Both the representatives.
Both
Both
representatives,
representatives
and I think
and
he
Bello,
talked,
right?
and then like
Bello.
Flag.
He never talked to
Oh,
Flag.
okay.
No, I've never talked to Flag about it.
And you never talked to Flag or Gendry, because those are the first two you met with.
Well, I'm not really
Shucks.
looking for someone to. Well, I am looking for someone to run it, but I was thinking maybe.
Oh,
you
I
know,
think you did talk to Gendry.
I did.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, seeing if one of the people who are creating the pathway would like to invest in a store, because if it's just a pathway, you're gonna run out of supplies getting to the line. So.
Well, they're construction
Is it?
companies. Like, their whole deal is they're being paid. They're
That's right,
purchasing
yeah.
the land, and then they'll be paid by the people who want this passage built.
Yeah.
Sam, I got you. I got a card here. When you want to do that, let me know.
Got it, Coach.
You want to do it right now?
No, it's on a check.
Oh.
He's not checking this guy.
Oh, okay.
No, he won't invest. So. Perfect. I mean, I think we've asked all the questions we need out of you.
Well, then, I hope that you have an excellent day, and
We'll see you this evening.
Well, I suppose we will.
Let's go ahead and head out. I think we've.
Now, you there, sir, before
Okay.
you leave.
Guess not.
I see you wear a sun on your armor and your shield.
I do, sir.
And to which faith of the sun do you offer your allegiance?
My faith is to the Church of Dawn, Thrimicat.
Of Thrimicat, specifically.
Yes, sir.
Ask that the rest of you leave us, please.
What?
I said I ask that the rest of you get out of my office, please.
Please, I shall rejoin you in a moment.
It will be done.
On my way out, I pat him and cast guidance.
Okay.
Good, I don't need this religion stuff anyway. I've had enough.
Well, shoot.
I didn't notice.
He says,
So
my
it's difficult.
family has ancient ties with Thrimicat.
Yeah.
And it would behoove you to know
This is where I'm going to go to the bathroom, so I don't actually hear this
that
conversation.
thanks to some corporate espionage, I am recently made aware that Mervyn, the no-good double-dealing scoundrel, plans to deal with both Caneth and Thrimicat.
Yes.
Whatever he can do to make the most money. However, if you want to see your people succeed in this war,
And I do.
you'll do whatever you can to make sure my company gets this route. I will ensure that the route is situated so that only Thrimicat will have any benefit. That way, our people win the war.
That sounds good to me, sir.
He reaches into a purse and he pulls out a key and unlocks a desk drawer and pulls it out, and he takes out a bottle.
What?
And he says, "This here ought to help you with this task, if need be."
And what is this?
As you open the bottle, you take off the stopper, you see there's a couple little, they're like little round, almost like beans, kind of. And he says, "Those there are highly poisonous yarrow beans."
Yes? Why are you laughing?
Because you give him silence or poison.
Oh, yeah. He says, highly poisonous. A single one of these could be ground up and placed into someone's food, or fed to them directly, if you're less subtle, I suppose. Upon doing so, that person will continue as they are for a few hours,
Oh my god.
normally no more than an hour and a half or two,
Sam.
and then they'll drop dead.
Rest in peace, Sam.
The symptoms of the yarrow bean are quite
Oh.
useful to an assassin,
They
as
don't
they
need
make it appear as though the person died simply of a rampant stomach fever.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Oh.
a rampant stomach fever, you say?
What are the
So it
symptoms?
leaves no signs of being poisoned.
No signs of being poisoned. What it looks like is that the fella threw up all over himself several times,
Oh, I don't know
and that his
about
stomach would have burst. Looks like he simply had a bad meal. Nice thing about the yarrow bean is that it is digested quite quickly, and so you don't find it in the stomach during an examination.
Interesting.
He's being very forthcoming with you.
Yeah. Well, he's loyal to Thermikath, or we're being double crossed right now.
Dude, this is so over me.
I'm
I'm not saying anything. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Me
It's
neither.
like, you know
So
what? Whatever happens, happens.
I
Let's kill
hope
some
you
more
guys
people.
know
It's
what's
us.
going
It's
on.
us three that are trying to get through this
No
crime.
idea.
Okay.
Like, screw it. No, do
Not
what you want.
not Farin's intelligence. Brandon doesn't know of his intelligence.
No. I can't portray Farin right now because I don't know what's going on. I want to just kill Bello and Tadila, honestly. That's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
want to do. Yeah.
Wow.
Right. I know
You are.
Oz and Sam are really suspicious of Tildila.
You are
Really suspicious.
I mean, yeah.
to make such an offer.
Well, if you love your king and your country, then I have nothing to fear.
Well, justice.
No, I suppose you didn't.
The chin of justice.
I'll take the vial and put it into a pocket.
Well, then off with you, sir, and I hope that you do what is right.
And these beings, again, they cause the stomach to explode. They don't interfere with the heart, do they?
The heart? No, sir. Just the stomach. Don't have anything for the heart.
You seem to be knowledgeable about such things, however. Do you know of any poison or other effect that would cause the subject to similarly seem as though they had died from their heart, simply giving out suddenly, catastrophically?
I don't know of any poisons to that effect, no, sir.
We suspect that there may be some form of foul play when it comes to Branriz. Well, clearly there was foul play. It seems too convenient otherwise. We're simply trying to get to the bottom of it.
Well.
And also, I'd like to make an insight check to see if he knew anything about something that affects the heart. I don't know at all. That was a natural one. So
Nice. Get out of the way.
I have no idea. You bone die. Usually, you're really cool. You can order them on Critical Hit Collectibles. But this time it wasn't really very good. I think. Well, thank you for your time and your discretion, I suppose. And walk in the light.
Before you go,
Oh, again?
you need a target for those beans. I happen to know that if Mervyn dropped dead, it'd take the High Mountains Company weeks to get a new rep who's authorized to deal out in these parts.
Oh, dear Lord.
By that time, Thefrim would be forced to sell to me. I happen to know that he is in great debt, and he must sell soon, or else this debt will come back to bite him. He doesn't have weeks to wait.
True.
Seems like a company trying
Thank
to
you
go
for your
after
time.
another company.
I will kind of bow and then leave the establishment.
You're gonna murder someone for a murderer?
Let's go and speak to Thefrin.
Okay.
All right.
See, he is trying to get rid of Mervyn quite blatantly.
Yeah.
And Mervyn is, well, to him.
Damn,
And
yeah.
And Mervin's trying to get rid of her.
Mervyn's trying to get rid of
And
Tadila.
she wants to get rid of Mervin. Everybody hates Mervin.
I like them. I like them.
Mervyn.
I thought he was shifty.
I like them.
You thought he totally did it.
He's
Yeah.
super shifty.
I thought he totally did it, and whatever her name is, the other wood elf is shady.
Thala was the
So
one
shady.
who was being weird. Mervyn was.
Mervin likes the temple, and he would hate for it to go down. So I like
Right.
Mervin.
I mean, yeah, that's
He
nice.
says take down the temple. That's what we wrote about him.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's
He
wrong.
doesn't give two shakes about the temple.
Yeah, he
No,
does.
it was-
no, he did not.
He was like, it would be bad,
He
but
did
if it was
say
the
that.
money was there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he
That's-
said he
but-
would do it for if that's what was more convenient. But he
Yes.
said it would be a pity.
It would be
It
a
would be
shame.
a shame.
So he's not like super. Oh, the faith.
Yes.
He just would be like, bummer.
Polite or something. but
That's
still,
more than
that's
what
nice.
we've gotten from anyone
He'd be
else.
like,
Everyone else is like,
it's like
Who cares?
somebody
Who
who's
cares?
sitting there going, "Oh man, what a shame to bring down this great cathedral." Oh well, we need a shopping mall.
But
Come on, guys.
Yeah,
All those
that's
guys.
essentially
like
it.
that.
They're paying for it though.
Let's take down
Yeah.
the temple.
So let's go to
that
Thefrin.
I can put a shopping mall in. That's what
Let's get our
Paved paradise.
man.
Put up a parking lot.
Put up a parking lot. Ooh, la,
Alright, so you
la,
head
la.
over to Thefrim.
Theater people are
Now,
easy.
Thefrim has quite a large house. Of
course he does.
And I mentioned before that there's sort of like Pueblo-like structures around the walls. He is far away from the gate, sort of, basically because there's a gate that you came up, where you came up that large ramp to get to the main gate, and then on the other side of the city is another gate that leads actually to the pass through the mountains. His is sort of at the central point in one of the arcs between those two, and it is at the top of the wall on that side. And it's a large structure that several others are supporting. So you have to go up several sets of stairs to get up there. And once you arrive up there, he has a huge door made of iron with big, heavy, golden knockers.
How heavy? Like,
What?
Some big
Knockers?
old knockers.
like
Thank you, Doctor.
how much?
Thank you.
What could a halfling reach them? Yes, it's a dwarf's house.
Yeah, you'd still have to kind of reach up high, but yeah.
Oh, I really want to knock on these knockers.
Alright.
You swing that knocker, man.
I'm going to put my heels under the door, reach back, boom.
It hits.
Do it
That
again.
was Quite the exhibition.
Boom.
It
There he
hits.
goes again.
Hey, I'm coming, alright? Yeah.
I do it one more time.
Yeah.
Boom.
Look, I told you I'm gonna have the money Oh.
Ooh.
Well, hello there. You're not dwarves?
I literally pointed at his.
Right. But you're not dwarves.
We are not
Who
dwarves,
are you?
he's saying. We are visitors to the town. We are looking
Yeah.
into this trade deal.
Trade deal.
Yes, with the route.
Oh, you're looking into the game. Look, I'll tell you what I told Nullius. I don't need to cheat. I've got skill.
We are not here to accuse you of cheating. No, we are simply investigating the murder of Branry. We would like to see
No
what you
reason
know.
to murder him. I won what I won fair and square. I had no reason to kill him.
No, we're here to accuse
Oh
you
yeah.
of murder.
So this guy, he's got thick, like a thick red mane, and a big red beard as well. But streaks of white and gray run through it. Here he is.
And I'd like to.
He's handsome.
Yeah, he's a handsome dude. Rolling insight on his. I
Very
don't
handsome.
need to cheat. I have skill, and I've got an 18.
22.
Hey,
Oh shoot!
if he didn't need to
He
cheat,
seems very confident.
he wouldn't have debts, okay? He looks like a
But
lion.
that he has skills or his dice have skills?
That he has.
He kind of does look like a lion.
He looks
He
like
does
a
look like
lion.
Yeah, he-
yeah.
Yeah.
I would really like to play a game against him.
No.
I mean, that would go against, that,
That
would
was
help.
last week's episode.
Yeah.
out
I mean,
his
you could
skill.
play a quick game. I mean, the one only took like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
You wanted to play
I-
Dwarven Train?
Well,
against him?
and I know how to play it now, so.
Yeah, you could play a game. of
We're
Dwarven
also
Train. But-
really running short on time.
Okay.
Like the
Yeah, you have
characters
about an
are.
hour and a half before the judgment.
Oh, let's go.
What's 2 minutes?
Just as
Yeah.
we are not here to accuse you of cheating, we are not here to claim you are the murderer of Mr. Branrier. We would simply like to see what you may know.
Did you
about
do
his
that out
untimely
loud?
death.
Right,
Okay.
well, I'll tell you everything I told Nullius. He says, I know that if I were looking into this murder, I'd be looking into Lufir and Mervyn. Lufir is only offering me 10 mithril bars for the land, though, while Mervyn can offer 12. I feel like Lufir is probably trying to get a better deal than he could possibly get, and thought that by murdering Branrear, he'd put the pressure on me to sell to him for a lower price.
I can't say that Lufir thinks that he's in debt right now, can I?
Because we didn't hear it.
Right.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't give away the price that Lufir was offering either, since that was lower than what he's offering. But definitely, I think takes
The higher
Lufir
price
as-
clearly would be of some interest to you.
Of course. The higher price is the better price. But look, I'm not scared of this guy. I have my own personal guards.
But you
What?
say that you own this land. You don't even know what the judge is going to say this evening.
Look, I didn't cheat. There's no proof I cheated. No one has any reason to believe I did, other than the fact that Bellow's mad that his old man lost a game. No one has any reason to believe otherwise. The judgment's going my way.
Why do you have your own personal guard, by the way?
Any man in a position like me needs his own guards.
Are they
I'm not
are they
well liked
visible?
in the town here.
I lean over.
You can see now that you look
to,
around, there are 2 arrow slits, and you can see through them guys with heavy crossbows watching you.
Ooh, I'm not a fan of that.
I lean over to Farin and I say, whispered, he's got a lot of debt, so.
You don't know
You
that.
don't know that.
Oh, I
He's the
don't?
only one who knows that.
He's
Oh,
the
right,
only
right.
one who knows
Yeah.
that.
What?
I thought he.
Oh, what?
I thought
Actually, you know what?
the
I think
game master
that is
said
something.
Oh, I think the game master did say that
Yeah.
to you a while
And if
ago.
not, that's something I would have shared
Fair.
with them. I wouldn't have shared the poison thing, but I would have shared that part.
Gosh, I got
Just
some
in
poison.
case he wants to do it to
Got
us.
some poison.
Not to you.
Sam, totally. Yeah.
I am an alchemist. You could.
By the way, you have enough for 2 doses of
Yeah.
So
that's what I
Sam,
figured.
you're dead.
Oh,
You're just saying.
nice.
My
One
characters
for
are always
her,
dead.
one for
And one for Sam. Yeah.
This is my life of D&D.
No, you don't
And
look
trust
at
me,
yourself,
I
though.
already have a secondary
Yeah.
character line
No,
ready to go.
Sam's only had one character die because of the actions of another player.
It's true.
That's only ever happened once.
Jer.
All the
Actually,
other
twice now.
Oh, I forgot about Jer.
Two
That did
characters.
happen.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fudwick
you
died
only
because of
come to that,
Jeremiah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then Jetson shot you in
I
the
pushed
face.
him to do that.
Oh, so
Like,
3,
Sam's a-
because
let's
it wasn't my fault that Flynn died.
Yeah, but that wasn't because of another character exactly. Like
That's
another
true.
player.
That's true.
Guy, he tripped because you were running from all the guys that were chasing you because you burned down the forest.
Well, because they launched a coup.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I'm not saying your actions aren't justified. But
Pins
back
and needles,
to
pins and needles.
Thefron.
I don't know what to say to him.
Right. So you all do know that he has a lot of debt.
Yeah.
Oh.
The game master was like, nobody likes him.
Debt from what? Do we know?
Oh,
Specifically?
he's a gambler.
He's-
So
Do you
yeah.
ask him that?
Yeah.
He says, look, yeah, I've got some debt, okay? I gamble a lot, and I haven't been able to win much lately.
Oh, I really don't like
You
this guy.
said you had skill.
I do. I'll prove it to you if you want.
No, I'm sure you have
Why
skill.
not?
We only have an hour.
Why not?
So no.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose I actually can't. Unless you have an extra die. One of mine's gone missing.
Excuse
What?
me?
Which die did you lose?
One of my sets, and he holds up a set of dice that are carved from what looks like mithril, like very expensive dice.
We haven't found one of
And he
those.
says,
Yeah.
I've only got 9. I don't know where the other one went. I lost it the night of the game. I'd be very happy to have it back.
Did we see any dice like that at the game house?
He didn't. He says,
Was it in his body?
No.
No.
Kinda
We
like
would
he
have
that.
seen
says,
it.
of course, that's what I get for using expensive luxury dice. I'm sure somebody saw it who was watching the game, snagged it.
I'm sure you keep those things close to your chest. I couldn't imagine you.
Oh, I
losing.
do, but we were all a bit drunk that night.
I see. Well, do you want to lend him one?
I don't have.
Oz?
Well, then, do you have 11 dice?
I don't have set game dice.
Guess we're all plugged.
I only have a herbalism kit and a dungeoneering pack, so or adventurer pack.
And gambling is the devil, so I don't have it.
Alright.
Right.
Right.
Cusco's poison.
Poison for Cusco. That poison. Yes, that poison.
Got you covered.
Sadly, I left all my dice at the players' game house.
Players at TG.
Players at TG. At the Reaper Game Store.
So he says, right, well, no need to play a game anyhow. Yeah, I've been losing lately. I thought my lucky mithril dice might help me win. And they didn't.
You can see then how accusatory eyes might turn in your direction.
Yeah, I get it. Look. My mithril dice won me the game, but didn't help me keep my winnings. Because now someone's trying to take them, just because people like Branry are better than they like me.
Well, one of your dice is missing, and some people have been saying that you have been cheating, so that die may be loaded, maybe?
Well, it's made of mithril. I doubt there's enough salt in the whole city to test that die.
I don't know what that means.
It's how you test a die to see if its weight is. You get water and put a bunch of salt in it and see how it floats. And then
If it floats to one side, but
Cool beans.
Because
do
the
that with
weightier
mine.
part will weigh
We
down.
should do that
so-
with Colby's.
I,
Also using that.
I,
We put the
I,
iPad in the water.
I asked
See where
him
it
if,
It's a witch.
do you perhaps remember anything odd about that night? About anyone at the table or who was onlooking?
I thought it was odd that Flegg jumped in on the game. He plays games here and there, but he normally stays away from me. For him to jump into the game with me, that was odd. And then that prostitute was watching.
Yes.
The whole game he was.
Is that odd?
Well, I just figured he'd want to be working.
You said he was
He's a
watching.
young lad.
You said he
pretty
was watching
face.
the whole game.
The whole game.
Because I think that's not what he told us. Wasn't it? I think he said he came.
I think it was like halfway.
I think he said he came in right.
So-
right near the end of things.
If we're like accusing someone, let's put this together. Gendry stole one of his dice to make it seem like he was cheating, so that Flegg would. And I lost it. All right.
Well,
Boy.
Gendry has a stake in it. Maybe.
How?
Well. Okay,
He
look.
really
Look.
likes
Here, look.
Flegg. He
Let's
wants him to
say
get
that
married.
Thefrin wins honestly. That means that that Flegg didn't win, and so Branrear doesn't.
Is it
marry
fun to
him.
watch us flop around?
So then Branrear
I think that's
doesn't
the
marry
first time
Flegg.
I've ever run a murder mystery,
Uh-huh.
so I'm
Yeah.
pretty excited.
So then Branrear doesn't marry Flegg, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate because Gendry super loves Flegg. He's a really
Yeah.
nice boss. So he.
He's
But
He
but
would
if
work for
Branrear
Flegg.
dies, then the mine is up for dispute and could go to Thefrim. But if Thefrim is made to look like he's cheating, then the mine is
Goes to
the
Bello.
land is all up in the air. It goes to Bello, who will be more.
It
would
would
not give to
definitely-
Flegg.
yeah.
Why would he give anything
Bello
to
would
Flegg?
definitely sell to
To
Lufir.
Lufir.
Yeah.
He has no reason to give it to Flegg because Flegg will bring dishonor. So I really don't think Flegg or
Well,
Gendry have
what if
any part
Gendry
of this.
knows about the mithril though? What if he knows about the mine, and so he knows that even if Bello is the one who has the land, then that still means that Flegg's okay because he gets the mithril.
What if
And so
Gendry's
he's
not
still
in it
set
for
for
the
life.
land? What if he just wants his boss to find
Right, that's
love?
what I mean. Is that he doesn't care about the land.
Yeah,
he
but
wants
how's
Flegg
Flegg
well
gonna
off.
how's Flegg going to find love if his love is dead?
Well, he didn't know he'd be dead. Gendry's plan was to make Thefrin look
Well, then
like
it
he
makes
was
no
stealing.
sense now. If his love is dead,
Well, then perhaps maybe Gendry's not the murderer. Maybe he's
That's
just
what
the one
I'm
who came
saying.
in and covered it.
Yeah.
Did some covering.
He had plans to make him look like he cheated so that he would win or whatever.
but
Even if he won, he could say, "Oh, he cheated, so he actually won." They'd get married. It'd be great. And then someone
basically just to be
just
like,
happened to
to
murder it.
Thefrim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's
Someone who's-
covering something.
Oh, it's
to
several
help
people are
somebody
covering something.
out.
yeah, I still think it's to
Delilah, she's
Yeah, I want to
definitely-
ask her about those mushrooms. We took samples. I want
Dude.
to show it to her and ask her if she knows what
Fun
it
She
guy.
is.
is all
She was
kinds
so
of not.
unhelpful.
She is not going to
She's
talk to
mean.
y'all about it.
Well,
Yeah,
then
go
let's
try.
talk to Peaceable Mother about it.
We have an hour and a half.
even worse.
How
She's
many
less
meetings
useful,
does
yeah,
that
she
give
did-
us
she did
before
How
that
many
time's up?
meetings? I'll say that'll give you. I'll say you can do, including travel time, one every 15 minutes.
Okay.
So that'll give you 6.
We've
If
got
we're going right
we've
up to
got
the
6
buzzer.
meetings. Yep.
Well, I think we should talk to her about the mushrooms.
To talk to the Peaceable Mother,
Yeah, or
But
to
she's
Delilah.
not the one.
the one who only speaks Dwarven and is really hostile towards literally all of us.
Well, then let's talk to Delilah. We have to talk to someone about these mushrooms. They're the ones that brought them. If they know about it, then they did it.
Peaceful Mother wasn't affiliated with any of them, just other than the fact that she's also
How many other?
a woman.
How many of our players here? How many of our suspects are deep dwarves? We've got the two
So how many are specifically
from
from Cordaldros?
and
The
3.
two of them, he is, let's see. Flegg was, he's lived here for a long time now, though. Maybeck is a deep dwarf.
Interesting.
And when did he?
Oh, no, he's
come
not.
into town?
Maybeck's from Ezelheim.
Oh.
That, I think, is it, looking at it.
My two beefs are with the mothers.
But he
Flegg,
lives here.
Flegg
so.
is also possibly just in a fit of grief
Yeah.
at Branrear not being willing to marry him, might have snapped and killed him. He's from the deep. He came back from a pilgrimage, so he might still have samples from some really scary stuff down there.
He did give you the sword and stuff, and those are from the deep, right?
That's true.
So maybe he's trying to get rid of all his deep stuff, so that no
Just
one
so
can
that suspicion's
say.
not cast on him anymore.
Speaking of,
So-
nobody was able to use that, is that right?
I forgot to look
Correct.
into it. I don't
Yeah.
think
You
I
were
can
going
now.
to.
Yeah, it's
You can just, since you're an Inquisitor, we're just going to say you have proficiency in the rapier.
That's okay.
just for
That's
funsies.
awesome.
It's not an
Um,
overpowered thing
to
for
give
you
a
to have.
wizard.
So, yeah, exactly.
Um,
You
you-
just
you-
have-
To a non-blade singer. So
Nice.
Flag could
Then I will look
potentially,
into
if he just,
I'll do
in
it.
a fit of jealous, or not jealous, but just grief that Branrear said no, had just kind of snapped and dosed him with a poison or whatever it is, that the fungus that just pops your heart, then that might have been what caused Gendry, because then there's reason for Gendry want to cover it up. If Fleg's the murderer, that could mean that Gendry saw it and was like, "Oh no, Mr. Fleg,"
And Lufir, sorry.
and then wanted to
Hey,
then
what are
he
you
has a
doing?
personal
Get out of here.
interest in wanting Fleg to not be in trouble, because Fleg is a great boss and Gendry's kind of a simple-minded sort. As far as we know, he might not actually be, but as far as we know, he's a simple-minded sort who really only cares about Fleg because Fleg's a really nice employer. So if Fleg, in a fit of grief, kills Branrear, because if I can't have you, nobody can. Also, I'm really drunk, and then just does this terrible thing and is like, no. Then, not only is Fleg now double, triple, super duper dishonored on him and his cow, but Branrear doesn't get the land. Fleg doesn't get the land. The land goes to, let's just say for the sake of argument, Thefram. Now that's extra bad because also Fleg doesn't like Thefram. So not only does Fleg lose, but Thefram, the guy that Fleg hates, wins. So that gives Gendry even more reason to want to cover it up, to want to make it seem like Thefram cheated. So he takes one of the dice, he pretends to have only been there for part of the game. Maybe he's the one who goes around and starts rumors that Thefram cheated. It's probably not hard. Nobody likes Thefram. He's a gambler. He's not liked. He doesn't make, and so public opinion's already against him. It should be pretty easy to make the public go, oh yeah, he seems like kind of a scumbag. So that wouldn't be even particularly difficult.
I show him the mushrooms and I ask if he knows what these are.
To Thefram?
Yeah.
Excuse me, but I have
Look
a
at it.
die.
He says, "Yeah, wait here just a sec." And he goes back into his house, leaving the door open. He says, "You can come in if you want."
I do.
Oh, we're
He says,
going.
"Just wait there in the lobby."
I look at everything. Is it fancy?
Oh, it's super fancy.
Can I touch some stuff?
Yeah, and as
Hey,
you
do you-
touch
do
stuff,
you
you
wanna
see
sit
that a
here?
lot of it is sort of the illusion of wealth.
After him.
Like a lot of the gold is really just gilded
Yeah.
metals.
Just
and
maybe it's
things
on like
that.
the back of his cloak or
He
something.
comes back in.
Oh, no. I don't like
And
that.
he says, "Yeah, here we go. This is what you're looking at." And he hands you a mushroom.
Where did you get this?
I use them for cooking. They're quite good. Go ahead, try one out.
That's all we had.
Fine, here. Now you. Don't be scared. They're not gonna hurt you. We all eat them down here.
Hmm.
They're rather expensive. I'll say they're from the deep.
Is there a correct way to prepare them?
I mean,
Can they be harmful to you if otherwise?
oh no, you can eat them raw if you like.
Crap.
Yeah, that was our one thing.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
So we're back to not knowing how he died.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate. So we've kind of ruled out injury almost entirely because there were
Unless-
no.
So what you guys are telling me is that we
I
need
hate
to
you.
line Gendry and Flag up in a corner and me run them through with my pike.
Yeah. No, you put Hitler, Toby, then
Then
Stalin.
stop.
Well, I guess I don't
Goes
know
through
this,
the neck.
so never mind. But
God, I give up.
okay.
I just lay down on the ground and I just go to sleep.
I want to go home.
I would like to go talk to Tudela.
All right, so you go to
Oh wait, Haley, what was your thing right before we go?
I don't know this though, so I can't.
All right, so Tudila.
Ting.
Greg, you're in the
Oh,
figure.
not
I'm
again.
gonna what?
Ting.
Mother Tudila,
Ah, yes, it's you. What is I can do for you?
tell me about your student Bello.
Bella's a good kid. I always liked him.
How much?
Jinx.
No, he's a good student. He worked hard for me.
More than any other student.
In his class, in a while, yeah.
Did you say that he might have a passion for the work or a passion for you?
What are you doing?
Are you
I
with
see what
us?
you're saying. No, he's not been rewarded in that way.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, Bello was good at his work. We were friends, nothing more. I taught him a lot. Ting!
Did you ever teach his father?
The old man Branrier? No, Branrier, no.
No, definitely not. Definitely.
No. Branrier's about my age, or would have been, I suppose. I wouldn't have been of age to teach him.
I have a bit of news for you.
Oh?
Someone saw you leaving the lavatory.
The Livitroy.
She immediately
The-
stops what she's doing and lays her hammer down.
Someone saw you coming out of the loo the night Branry was.
Right.
Roll for combat?
I was worried someone might see that.
Yeah, so let's speak about that.
Well, you already have my dagger. I'm assuming you saw that his purse was cut.
Yes.
Correct.
Um,
So what were you searching for?
well, I went in there and I saw that his purse was cut, and I assumed at this time that it had simply been burglars. I knew Arthur had saved his life, and I knew he was dear to Bello, Bello, of course, as I said, was a good friend, a good student. So I cut his bonds quickly, and then I realized he wasn't just unconscious, he was dead.
Retconning back to Lufir's office, was any of the rope in his office
No.
the same? Thank you.
She says, when I got in there, I could have sworn he was breathing. I checked his pulse, he seemed to have one, but then I cut the bonds, and it looked like he was dead. In a panic, I threw the knife.
Wait.
I've got it.
You just said that you felt he had a pulse, and then you said he looked like he was dead. That seems contradictory,
Yes,
don't you think?
as I said, when I went in, I checked his pulse, he looked like he was alive, and then I cut the bonds, and I went to help him up, and I checked his pulse again, he was clearly dead. In a panic, I threw the knife in the lavatory and got out of there as fast
He
as I
had a
could.
pulse.
How did you
before-
know he was there in the first place?
How did I know? I saw shadowy figures dragging him in there.
How
And
many?
what did those shadowy figures look like?
Shadowy.
Dwarfs, I bet.
They
Yeah, it's
were
still a
wearing
good
cloaks.
question.
You
I only saw a silhouette.
did you say he had a pulse before you cut the bonds, or that it just looked like he did?
He had one for sure.
Right. I've got a 17 insight on. Is she being pretty on the level with us right now? Yeah. Do you know of any magic or something that could cause this? Something that could.
Do you know any magic that could do
There
that?
is certainly magic that could put one in a state of death, but it is not easy.
I don't know. I haven't seen the body since then, so I haven't examined it.
Well, then
His
I wouldn't have any skill in that.
is Peaceable Mother in there?
She is.
Thank you, Judge Mother.
it looks as though his heart gave out. Did you?
It could be these two bandits. Maybe they beat him. Maybe they didn't intend to kill him at all. Maybe they beat him harder than he could take.
There was no bruises.
No, there were. There were
There
definitely
were.
lots
There
of
were
bruises.
bruises.
There weren't enough to kill.
Yeah, there was even
Well,
mark of
there weren't enough
strangulation.
bruises to kill.
Right. What she's saying is what she's saying
Then
is
he
that
could
they
handle it.
beat him hard enough to where his heart just gave out. So the injuries weren't what killed him. The stress of the attack was. Then his heart just exploded.
And you said it was two figures.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, just yes, too.
Were they dwarf size?
One second, I'm trying to find the tissues. I'm about to sneeze.
Oh no.
It'll only be once or
We're
twice.
gonna
Look
need
in
to
the
take a
camera.
That's a lot.
Oh yeah, if you guys didn't know, if you go back to our first episode, Die Not
I
Die
didn't
not
see
in
him.
bed.
Die Not in Bed, 2 hours and 35 minutes, you will see Mr. Senor Nick over here.
Mr. Senor.
Look at the camera,
Like an insane
pan over to the
person.
camera, smile a little,
Oh, there was
and
some
then
smiling.
sneeze his face
that
off.
was not a happy.
Huh.
It was
not a
pretty
happy
funny.
sign.
It's this crazy like thing, and it's one of the funniest bits of
Very
physical
funny.
Pretty
comedy
great.
Alright, so.
ever put to film.
Anyhow, what were you saying?
They are door size, yes?
It's hard to tell. I was quite a ways away when I saw the figures.
How is it hard to tell whether they're size of Branria or not?
I was far away. It was hard to tell.
Ooh.
Well, that makes
In
sense.
One of them
character,
was
but I
clearly
remember it.
taller than the other. How much I couldn't tell.
Do you know anything about Mervyn?
About Mervyn?
Yes, ma'am.
You mean the trade rep?
Correct.
Not any more than most people.
How about his lackey, Thyla?
Oh, she came
Taylor.
by here
Taylor.
looking to purchase some crafts or things a while back.
20 insight on if she didn't really know him that well.
It seemed like she barely registered the name.
Right.
Oh, she came by here a little while ago. Someone like that sticks out. But she was odd. Maybe it's just that she's an elf. Elves often are.
Rude.
True though.
What did she purchase?
So true.
She didn't end up buying anything. Just came and
Yeah,
talked
that
for a while.
that definitely
Did she say that
points the
like
finger
with
at
me in the
Mervyn
room,
and
like just like
Yes.
straight,
She's
like
the only
What are you
one
gonna
who's
kill
taller.
her?
that's
Except
rude.
in
Yes,
That's-
yeah,
don't
it does.
care.
I look very offended.
Is
But
is there any
night
rope in here?
paladins Don't go around killing people.
I mean, there is some rope, but it's like the kind used for like weaving.
Enough with the rope.
Like, they're not.
That's
silent-
really
It's
our
our
own.
only lead.
It's our kind of our only lead currently.
Well, except that we just got a bit of a lead in that there were two figures, one of whom was
Yes, but I'm
definitely
talking about
taller than the
tangible.
other.
Tangible.
That would be
Tangible.
one.
Well, I understand that, but
Because
still.
we've had exactly two people down here who are noticeably taller
Was
than everybody
Ar-
else,
was
and the other
Arbiter-
one is the Night Paladin.
Ooh.
But why would
Yeah,
Nolius
the
don't bring
paladins
Nolius
of the
in.
church tend to not engage in underhanded tactics like that.
He's not that zealot.
He's
like,
well, yeah, he's not like a silencer might, to be perfectly
and
frank.
the other thing
but-
is that he's from Thermocap. It would be dumb
That
of
would be
him to
stupid.
murder the
Yeah.
guy that
Yeah.
wanted the route that would only trade with Thermocap.
This
Or
guy
is
seems bad.
Maybe
It's like
So
he
obvious
he's
was
kind of
murder
just down on his
someone.
luck.
All right, let's go.
If he's willing
Do we
to
want to
murder
talk to
one
Peaceable
person,
Mother?
He might murder another.
I don't think that we're gonna be able to glean anything from the Peaceable Mother. That's not my
He would
vote.
have
I can
saved
be
money by
overruled
Brandon
for sure.
not dying.
Let's put all of them in jail
Oh, that's
and
fair.
just wait until they confess.
What?
Let's try them all as witches.
Yeah.
It's like,
Let's
you
go
know
talk
what?
to
If you're not
Mervyn.
going to tell us, all of you are punished.
Do the stone thing where
can
you
we
just
talk
put
to
rocks
Mervyn?
on him.
Hashtag
To
my
Mervyn?
parents.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you can go back to Mervyn.
Let's go back to Mervyn.
Oh my
But why?
Okay.
Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah.
Because we have
is-
other people to talk to.
As
Who?
you enter his office, he says,
So that's two, right? That's two.
this is the second one.
Yeah, we still have four more.
Well, hello there. I expected you might be back. What can I do
Is
for?
Thala in the room?
She's not here right now.
Do you
hello,
have
Mervyn.
a seat anywhere?
Of course, if you need a chair, one moment, I'll get you one.
Thank
He
you.
stands up and he goes over and he pulls a chair up to the desk. He says, "Feel free, fella."
How tall is he?
How tall is he? He's
About
about-
regular
he's about
door
his
size.
height.
No,
Cool.
this is door fight.
We would love to speak
Wine
with
on his table.
Thala. Have you
He's got
seen
any
it?
what?
Wine on his table.
He's got a little wine, yeah. He sees you
Right.
eyeing it and he says, "Thirsty friend, if you like, the glasses are right over there. If you'd like to
Oh, no,
pour
no.
a glass,
Oh,
if you're pouring, I'd like one as well, please."
No.
Let's
Oh,
go.
Grandfather!
It just goes.
I have
It's
my
like
unseen
crump.
servant bring us some wine.
So the unseen servant
Yeah.
goes and he watches these
Is
things.
your grandfather?
Yeah, the unseen servant of a
What?
fallow. Every fallow gets unseen servant as a spell they can just cast.
That's cool.
And it is one of their ancestors' spirits.
What?
No.
yeah.
Rad.
Fellows are all a
That's
bunch
awesome!
of weird
Where have you been?
necromancers.
And so he
I didn't know that.
He hasn't used it yet. So.
Yeah, well, then
he
where have I been?
sort of wisps of smoke
wrap around the
What does
wine
Mervyn
bottles
think
and
of
the
this?
glasses and carry it over. And Mervyn's watching and goes, "What? I do declare."
I bet you do.
Well, you just foiled that, didn't you? That was good.
He says, "Well, quite impressive. And can your grandfather pour us the wine as well? Coordinated
You
enough for me?"
insist? Please.
Well,
Please.
all right.
It's
Well then.
polite, you know.
Oh,
He is his grandfather,
to
okay?
finding the truth. That is the good stuff.
Now,
That's too far.
where's your assistant, Thaler?
Taylor? Oh, she's probably out and about the town.
Doing what?
Well, likely seeing what other investments might be made. We're always looking to acquire more.
Is the
Do you really
the
want to
road
talk
not
to her?
I do.
taking up
Okay.
all your time?
As the what?
Is the road not taking all your
Oh,
time?
well, the road's taking all my time, of course, but Thaler is her own woman. I have her working on other projects for me.
I see. Oh, wow.
Where did you
Well, that's
find?
Molasses.
Oh, yeah.
Where did you find Thaler?
Yes.
Where'd I find her? Well, she came wandering in a while back. We were working up down near Eselheim, and she came wandering in. Thought she might be a good addition to the team.
Is she from Guerrero?
Wait, room.
From Gueron? Well,
Macaroon?
yeah, I believe she is. That's,
Is she from
if
Snickerdoodle?
I remember correctly.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, I would very much like to talk to her. It's been a while since I've been to the motherland.
She from Pickles Burgers?
Been a while. Well, that's fine. You're welcome. Wait here for her.
So you don't know where it is?
I know where she is. As I said, she's out and about town working on her own business. There's some projects I have. But I don't know where she is right here at this moment.
Okay.
Now, again, as I said, you're welcome. Make yourself at home. We got some wine. You can hang out here and wait for her to come back.
Yeah.
I wish we would have opened that a lot earlier.
Just empties the decanter into his mouth.
What are we talking about?
So do you, Sam?
Yes, Oz.
Thaler's tricky.
We can continue to have this tea party.
I'm sorry. I must confess.
Uh-oh.
I cannot enjoy a glass of wine without some crackers. Would one of y'all go over there and fetch them crackers off that table?
Oh well, no one needs to do it. We have
Of course we do.
grandfather.
Oh, well.
Grandfather.
This old
Yes.
man just trudging pitifully. Even in death I must serve
Is this what
jerk young people.
And he says, that is the most amusing trick you ever did.
Mervyn,
I
have
can
a question.
I have it arranged for you if you'd like.
Arranged?
Well, you can give me one of those.
Not exactly what I meant.
Did he mean arrange the crackers?
No, he meant arrange for when he dies. He can
Yeah.
start.
Oh, no, sir, no, sir. I'll go back to the stone. I will.
If you insist.
Is
It's
there
not
a
a bad
coat-
way to.
Is there a coat hanger in there?
Oh, yeah, there's a little coat hanger.
Anything on it?
Here's a coat.
There's some rope.
No.
Is there rope
Mervyn.
in the coat?
Mervyn,
Ah, my rope coat. Thank you.
Mervyn, you told us that you saw Judge Mother Judila leave the loo,
With a
correct?
mustard necktie.
Yeah, I saw her coming out there. I did.
Do you mind if I ask what you were wearing that night?
We're losing it.
Well, I was wearing that night. Well, I was dressed much same as I am now. I think I was wearing my blue shirt that night.
Khakis.
Was it a cold night?
Oh, it's quite cold that night. That's right. Of course, winter's coming on. It's been a cold winter here.
I was wondering, was there anyone with you, like Fela?
Well, that night, I do suppose I think Taylor was with me there.
Why were y'all so close to the loo?
Oh well, we were just out coming on our way back here from a business meeting earlier that day.
With who?
Well, we were meeting that day with Maybeck.
Wait a minute.
Wait, what? Thaler said.
I remember
wait,
the conversation.
I remember
Oh,
that.
that was so
Yeah,
bad.
because I think Thala mentioned.
If you remember it, your character remembers.
Yeah, I think
Okay, then I remember. Yeah.
she had mentioned that she met him for the
So
first time.
Mervyn, you were meeting with Maybeck, correct? What did y'all speak about?
Well, we talked about some
Still a sharp idea he's got in his head.
Well, I'll take it from here. I do
Okay.
remember that.
Oh, he's had enough.
I do remember that
You good, Hayward?
when Thaler
Are you sure?
came in here on our last visit to you, that she was scoping out new investments and things like that. She said that she had met with Maybeck by herself. She said that it was not worth it, and you said it was not worth your time. If she said,
well, y'all must be mistaken. That must have been Maybelle. Now, Maybelle is another fella.
Okay.
She's
Oh,
a quite.
wow.
That's cocked.
Please tell me that's not a huge
Ten.
DC, but that's 17.
I mean, it definitely seemed like he made that up on the spot. It wasn't quite. Well, that was Zomba Sword window. But it was on the spot.
I think you're
Sure.
lying to us, sir.
What reason would I have to do a thing like that?
Land, money.
church.
Yeah, for murder.
I'm already offering more money than Luffy can afford to offer.
But it seems like you know something that only a few handful of people know.
And what's that?
That there is a large sum of money
Oh.
hidden.
Wait,
What?
hold up, out of character. What are you talking
I'm
about?
talking
Yeah.
about the
You
mythical
have
mine.
The
he
missile
doesn't.
load?
He just
He
told
doesn't
him
know.
about the
Oh.
mythical
He doesn't know.
mine.
He says,
Okay.
I
what
just said
sort of
large.
money is that?
One that I know that you don't know.
Well, you just said I did know.
That's true. You
Oh,
told
I did. That's my bad.
Well,
It's
clearly
something.
by his response.
It's something that you're searching for, Merman, isn't it?
Well, now it is, I show you. Tell me
Why-
more about this large sum. He gets a notebook out.
Oz.
So, Mervin,
So Oz.
is Thyla good at killing people?
Thaler, no, she's just a worker. Them Gueronians, they're not too hardy. They're not the killing type.
Ah, see, I
No,
can
they
disagree
are
with you
not.
there, Mervin, because I just so happen to know Gueronian, and her axes pierce any arm.
Thank you. That's right. They do.
Well,
This is
And
well.
I sort of just like, put my hand where an axe would be, but like under the skirt.
oh, super threatening.
Well, look, I don't know what y'all was talking about. Thaler's just a worker.
So if she's not the killer, that would make it you.
You,
right?
then.
Why would I kill anyone?
Like
I'm
I said,
offering
no.
more money. Either one of them's gonna take my offer.
Then why was it that they were even in the running?
I don't know.
But it made you nervous, didn't it?
No, I have no cause to be nervous. I got more money than anybody here.
Oh, then you should know that Thefrim's gonna sell to Lufrin.
Thefrim's gonna sell to Luffy. Really? And if Thefrim sells to Luffy, how's he gonna pay off all them debts he's got?
How does everybody know about his dad?
It's
Yeah,
It's
everybody-
pretty
very
common.
public knowledge.
It's only the outsiders who think that it's like inside information. Everybody in town is like, oh yeah, he owes everybody money.
Then there's a deal that you do not know that Leffa made with Ephraim.
Well, it seems like-
So what?
Wait,
Left-
Nat 20!
Never mind then.
Well, that conniving son of a man.
So, that kind of gives you a murderous intent, don't you? Doesn't it?
I'm feeling a mite murderous right now, I'll say.
He said he would murder!
Kill him! Hold on now! That ain't proof. I ain't killed nobody. I'm just telling you right now, I'm a bit angry.
Well, what we do have is, well, we have the word of one of the priestesses of the three, when she saw two figures dragging Branrir's body into the lavatory, one noticeably taller than the other.
What's the
How many
best
other-
way to cut a coin purse?
How many other
Is
tall
it
folk
at the
do you
top
see
or at the
here?
bottom?
Well, there's that nullius you're walking around with.
Yes,
Then
yes,
there's
the
these
knight
three right
paladin.
here.
Yes.
So the
The
people
director
that
after
weren't
he was
here when the murder happened.
And the one who was tied up in trade negotiations the entire time. That'll carry a lot of weight against a word of a priestess of the three. Really? How stupid do you think these people are?
Seems like you're in a
Well, then I guess we'll just have to see what the arbiter says once you present him with your evidence.
And what will the arbiter say? What did you whisper in his ear in the late night,
I don't
leaving
whisper
him in
nothing.
tears?
when I want to say something, I say it loud and clear.
Yes, we heard. He left in tears. Did you threaten a judicial official right before he makes a ruling? That's not going to hold up well either.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't even need to roll. I got that one.
That
Brandon passed that
one.
inside
Sorry,
check.
who was the?
I showed it.
Who was the person who saw that one?
That was, I believe that was
Todila.
Tudila, but
That was Arthur saw it.
Arthur had told her that Tudila.
Yeah.
Arthur told us that Tudila told her that Tudila saw.
Right.
Holy crap.
That would be the word of another princess.
Well, then I suppose you'll have to see what the arbiter says. I would ask kindly that you leave my office, although I would have to say that I am past kindness now. These accusations are getting under my skin.
More threats.
Not a threat. Just an order. Get the hell out.
Thank you for the wine.
Are we leaving? Okay, cool. As we
I
leave,
take the wine.
as we
This is
leave,
mine.
I want
Your
to
day sucks.
turn to him,
I don't like it.
I dare.
and I want to say like, yes, I would still very much like to talk to. No, okay,
Bye.
that's all right. And then I leave. I'm imagining him being like,
goodbye.
I would like
was
to
he doing
go
with it?
attempt to find Thala.
Oh, I see.
Thalen? Okay.
And you said it wasn't a good idea to
That
talk
might
to
take some time.
Mervin.
Roll me a charisma investigation check.
Ooh, streetwise.
I already said he totally did it. I mean, I'm already convinced he's the bad guy.
19.
All right.
Dude.
On the
After
die.
asking around if anyone's seen her, you eventually manage to find Thala. And she is actually at a sort of salon where
Oh, business dealings, huh? Trying to find new stuff.
where
Right.
various stores would go. In fact, it would seem now that you're in here, they have a bunch of different dyes for your beard and things. It looks like Thefram is likely dyeing his hair. The first thing you see is a color that matches very much the red of his beard. And you see her, and she is laid back, and there's a dwarf that is currently in the process of dyeing her hair.
That's my foot. Go away.
Oh, so her hair's not actually red.
Who are you talking to?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or they're dyeing it a different color now.
What color are they? Oh, we don't know. It's kind of just wet.
You see them
Yeah.
there, and she's laying back, and her eyes are closed, and there's a dwarf working.
She's got aluminum foil all up in her hair. It's
Wait, Todila is?
Parn has had enough of this
Thala.
whole endeavor. It's just
Then I go over to her because my hair is naturally red,
Can I at least have my bike out?
and I want to just look really mad. And just like brood over her, really mad.
Oh.
What?
I wasn't actually rolling anything. I was just rolling.
That's
for fun.
good.
Oh.
Glad you got that out of the
Yeah,
way.
sure.
I'm just like,
Excuse
and
me,
in my brain,
Thala.
I'm being like, this isn't right. You're not supposed to do that. That's rude.
Excuse me, Thala.
She.
She
Oh.
sees me
Hi there.
being like,
Hi, I was
What are you doing here?
I was wondering if you could talk to us
Aw.
about the business dealings with Maybell.
with Maybell.
Yes.
You mean Maybach, I suppose.
No, I meant Maybell.
Not
Oh,
according.
right, Maybell. Yes. It was not an investment worth pursuing, I found.
What was it about?
Oh, not much to it. A shop, really.
Ah, okay. Guys, his name's Maybach. You guys are making fun of me, but
Well,
I'm
thanks for
catching
your
her in her
No,
own
no,
lie.
I'm not making
it's
fun
clear
Oh,
lie.
it's like I'm
We're just
catching
all
people
kind
in their own lies.
We're laughing at her just being like, oh, her, yeah,
Oh.
it's totally, it's just a head. She sold noodles. Like, who even
Um,
does that?
Are you
What
a
a
yarn
weirdo.
salesman? You sell
Uh,
yarn?
Let me line
So-
up another question.
So, like, dude, let's...
Yes.
I know, I'm trying to line up questions.
No, let's run her through.
Are there a lot of people just right here in the salon?
No, there's really just like 2 or 3.
Is she armed?
I'm gonna I look over at the technician. I don't know what the beautician, the one who went to
Cosmetologist.
cosmetology school, and I say, would you leave us for a few moments if you don't mind?
For sure.
And I
The
look
person
real
looks
mad.
over and says, "Well, you gotta understand. I'm right in the middle of getting some of these old blonde hairs out." And she sort of comes around and says, "Oh, no, just the grays. That's a gray is what that is."
Okay.
And he says, "Oh no, lady, you're not graying at all. You must be mistaken." He says,
Okay.
"These here blonde hairs."
These
You
here
see
blonde
her
hairs.
expression sort of go a bit more dour.
Yeah.
And I'm very mad.
And
Yes, we
she
know.
says, "I'd be fine if you left us for a moment." And,
If the barber left?
the
Mhm.
barber leaves.
Oh
He says,
boy.
fine, if that's what you want.
It
Just
is.
know that die is gonna sit weird.
It appears that you've been deceiving an awful lot of people. We just spoke to your employer, and we have the word
Everyone
of...
roll me a history check.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Maybe you have
crit!
Oh, okay.
Oh, boom.
Why?
Yeah.
So, you
Let's
know
see if I
that blonde hair is typically the color of the hair of a Narwhale.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
14.
she's not even from Guiron.
I'm very mad.
I got a nat 18, so I was pretty good at that.
I don't like them, right?
No, nobody likes
Nobody
them.
does.
I'm very mad.
Especially Flynn Dark Magic.
True. Yeah, he super doesn't like
I'm
them.
gonna be like, and like under my breath, and be like, how dare you impersonate?
We just
just
spoke to
rude,
your employer, and we
stupid,
have the
you're
word of two
stupid.
priestesses of the three that place. Well, one of them places you two, most likely, at the scene of the murder, and the other places your employer, threatening the arbiter.
You're blonde, right?
He's blonde.
You're blonde?
Yeah.
Can I sleight of hand pick a blonde strand of hair from
I
him?
will 100% notice if you do that.
Well, I'm not doing it for you.
From her, or from him.
From
I
him.
want to sleight of hand from her.
Okay,
You
yeah,
wanna pull one of her
bullseye.
hairs?
Oh.
While she's in the...
Maybe it's numbed her scalp. Who knows?
Mm.
Maybe it's a chin hair.
Can I just do it?
Four.
Reach in.
Can I just
you
do
just heard it. I'm talking, Sam.
Who's Sam?
Talking to you. Do the
Yeah,
player.
she super noticed that.
Yeah.
She goes, "Ow, what are you doing?"
No, I didn't mean from her. I was gonna pluck it off Thaddeus.
You
Well,
did
you
say
said from her.
I'm
right?
sleight of
From her.
handing from her so she doesn't see me plucking hair off him.
What does
Sorry.
that matter?
Because I'm about to use it.
Alright. So yeah, she totally
you're trying to
noticed
do it
you
Okay.
stealth that.
Alright, then
She's
I'm
like,
just gonna throw it on the ground. Sorry, it was a bit gray.
No, it wasn't.
You know now that
Yeah.
four more.
I was gonna use it and go, oh, we saw this at the scene of the crime, guys. Come on.
Yeah, that one.
Y'all make fun of me, but
Yeah,
Coulda
yeah,
worked.
Still doing it.
Nope.
it worked.
Nope.
I'm
So
just
I
saying-
said the thing about the two
Good plan.
priestesses of
Coulda
the three.
She says, and what is it you're implying? And she's still like leaned back in the chair. She hasn't gotten up at all.
Oh, what a.
Please, just
butt.
let me slit her throat.
Do
Alright,
it.
murder hobo, chill out.
That the two of you might very well
Do
be
it.
arrested for
Do
the
it.
murder of a well-loved individual in this part of the town.
She says,
I'm right there with you.
That doesn't sound much like me. I'm just a humble worker.
That's fun. So
Do we all know
You're
she's.
also just a humble Gueronian. Oh, were you not?
There we go. That's what I was gonna
Yes,
get to.
that is my homeland.
no, it's not. We can all tell that. The blonde hair.
Yeah, I'm very
No, no,
mad.
no. You're from the Isle of Mystery.
We get
Don't lie to me,
it.
no.
You're mad.
Very mad.
We get
I'd be
it.
like, hey, how dare you impersonate?
I think you're
My
mistaken.
Okay.
You know of the silencers, don't you?
I know of them.
So, you know that we have more or less the authority to do what we wish. And that we are trained to get a confession out of people.
Are you now?
Yes.
Good. Then you should be able to tell when no one's lying to you.
I guess I'll roll insight then.
alright.
I got a 17.
Yeah, she's definitely not just a humble worker
Yeah.
at all. Like she's clearly, it seems like she's making
She's
veiled threats
yeah.
here.
Yes, I can. And you are now outnumbered.
Can
in a
I,
rather uncomfortable, vulnerable position, and surrounded by at least one who's familiar in the arts of torture, and another one whose race typically enslaves the dead.
As she's laying there, she's sort of still like back in the chair. She glances around at each of you, and she says,
I'd place my odds pretty high.
Sorry, that was not character. I just thought that was funny. What?
Nothing.
I look at her and I say, perhaps we should try then.
Roll for initiative?
Yes.
Alright, roll for initiative.
Thank God, add a D4.
And add a devo.
Yay!
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, I
this
was
is-
not.
Yay!
Oh yeah, this is happening.
Oh, okay.
You should have just
In
gotten
the
an automatic
salon.
crit with how much you've been waiting
Man,
for
that
this
was,
combat.
That was upsetting, man. Oh well.
Well,
Alright, Foreign.
9.
Oh.
Wait, no, JK 8 because -1.
Osborne.
11. No, sorry, 12.
Okay. Esteem.
5.
No, sorry, 6.
Right.
22.
Thank you.
I'm
Thaddeus.
mad,
17.
guys. She's awful.
Yeah, but then you're complaining about me getting into combat with her?
I'm really gonna hurt her about it.
Oh, I'm gonna hurt the
Alright.
crap out of her.
Murder
You
in the
are.
streets.
Mhm.
You're up. She's laying there for a moment.
I'm not gonna punch her in the face. Oh, I'll punch her in the face, but I won't stab her with an axe.
Well, then
Stabber.
punch her in the face.
Stabber.
Okay, but I'm gonna preface this by saying.
Okay, she is obviously a
Yeah,
murderer.
but we have to turn her in. We can't
Then-
just kill her.
Well, we're not gonna. We're gonna knock her
We're
unconscious.
gonna knock her unconscious, so beat her with axes.
I'm gonna take my fist.
We're not killing her. We're not killing her.
You know what? I'm
We're
gonna
not, no.
actually. I'm gonna be really, really mad.
No.
I'm gonna use a key point.
We're not doing it.
I'm gonna
I'm
flurry
gonna
of
try to
blows,
stop you.
Alright.
And I'm just gonna punch her really like 3 times.
Da-da-da-da!
Alright.
Throat punching like crazy.
Yeah,
Throat
throat
punch.
punching right in the throat 3 times.
Squad to the larynx.
Squaw.
Oh, maybe
Booster
not.
belly. Booster belly.
16.
I still have my command points.
Does it hit?
I'm waiting on the other two.
Well, the other 2 are much lower than that.
Alright. So, as your punch comes swinging in towards her throat, she catches it
Oh, yeah.
in her hand.
And you didn't
You
want to
swing
hit her
in
with an
another
axe.
punch, going towards her
It's +5
forehead, and
either
she
way.
swings that same elbow up and knocks it aside. But then you've broken through her guard and you slam one into the side of her cheek.
Well, one of
Nice.
them was actually another 16.
Oh.
Okay, well then 2
2
of them.
hit,
Yeah.
yeah.
So she catches the first one, then.
Yeah, right in the
Ouch.
face.
Ouch.
6 for the first one,
Okay.
and 5 for the next one.
Nope.
And as I do it, I'm just saying, like, this is for impersonating my people. You're scum. I hate you.
Alright.
Stop dyeing your hair.
She leaps up out of the
Yeah,
chair
I saw that
with a kickflip up, and as she lands
That's very
on
elaborate.
the ground, she gets right up next to you, and it without even seeing her draw daggers, she has 2 long curved hooked daggers in her hands.
Cool.
And she puts one up Thaddeus' throat, and she says, "I will die before I see a servant of the left neck breaker here." She says, "I will break your neck, and then I will break the necks of your friends." And she slices at your throat.
Is she from Zimbabwe?
No, she's
Yeah,
from
yeah.
France.
She crits.
Colton's been doing too much.
Oh,
that,
wait,
please.
no.
There you
Redo
go.
that, please.
Yeah,
Alright.
I was gonna make them redo it too.
Out of 15?
No.
You can't make her redo it.
Lucky, my lucky charm.
That's only on you.
Oh, okay, well, that's cool.
Alright?
Oh no, his
wait.
item I think.
Yeah,
can
my lucky
redo
charm.
any D20 roll.
Oh,
It's any
I
D20
know
roll.
what-
He's
I
got
know
the
what you're
item.
talking about. Alright, so in that case,
Did you want to do it?
No, you go ahead.
That is advantage, okay. Okay, cool. So,
'Cause you can
as,
regain yours,
she
I have to
leaps
wait till
up,
the next day.
she slashes one at your throat, and it cuts some of the chainmail. She flips the other dagger around and drives it down towards your chest, but you quickly throw your gauntlet in the way, blocking the blow. Thaddeus, you're up.
All right, well that's rude. So I'm not really fond of that. I mean, I'm kind of wishing that it was a different sort of paladin at this point because neither one of my channel divinities are super helpful, but that's okay. So in that case, I'm just gonna bring my spear up and around and send it just crashing into her ribs.
Alright.
Trying not to kill her, so I'm aiming for a non-lethal blow here,
Alright.
which is not gonna matter because that was a big ol' miss.
Alright, Osborne.
As she swipes
Oh my
for
goodness.
my friend. As she swipes for my friend.
I'm touched. I'm touched. That is.
I
that's my
begin to
friend.
bud flowers all across my body, and then I
Troll
grow.
in Central Park.
Oh, I begin to grow even larger and larger and larger to where my head is almost like touching the roof of this dwarven
Ooh, he's Groot.
thing, and then I just rear up and go. Bruh. Yeah, I look like a little like this, if you can tell. A little like that.
with flowers.
And then I just reach my arm out and boom, 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 looking to knock her out. just slamming my fist right on top of her.
And what stat block is this, by the way?
What do you mean?
The flower shroud.
Flower shroud.
Flower shroud.
I'm a flower shroud currently. I
those
take
attacks.
3 attacks.
Nice.
Uh,
Is this from
Plus 3 to hit.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one.
14,
No.
13, 9.
Oh, none of those will hit.
Well, reroll some stuff.
Oh,
Like
I'm gonna reroll all 3 of those.
How many times can you use it?
3.
Nice. There you go.
But now I'm all out. Okay, wait.
That one's cocked. You can reroll that one. Yeah.
One of those was real
Okay,
good.
that was a 2 though. Or were you gonna count that it bounced to a 15?
So that's 2 hits, though.
21 and an 18.
Both of those will hit.
Sweet.
So you swing down, and she dives out of the way, but as it just so happens, you're lucky enough that on the backswing, you happen to swing that same direction.
4, 5, 6, 7 piercing damage.
Alright, nice.
She now has to make a con saving throw.
Alright, what is it against? Poison?
2 con saving throws. Yes.
Against poison, yes.
Alright, and so the first one she definitely passed. The second one she probably failed.
12.
12 poison damage?
No, 12 is the DC.
Alright, she failed it.
Okay, cool. Actually, it'd be 13 because I'm using mine now.
No, you
no.
always use the staff.
Sorry.
Every time.
He's only done it twice.
So what's it do?
It does
4 damage.
Poison
4
damage.
poison damage. And at the beginning of their turn, she'll take 3 damage.
And then is she subjected to the poisoned condition as well?
No.
Bummer. That
Alright.
would have been cool.
Alright. Immediately, she flips around and chunks a dagger towards his steam.
I was not involved in this.
As a legendary action here.
Oh shoot!
Oh, shoot.
She's got legendaries.
Oh, well, yeah, this is what we've been waiting for.
Alright, so she had a 22 to hit.
Okay,
Hey,
well I'm
Haley,
gonna take
I
it.
would just like to.
Alright,
I'd like
that's
to go
gonna
ahead and
be
underline
8.
a word here. I'd like to go ahead and have a little lot of shade.
22 piercing damage.
What? What?
22.
So I'm unconscious.
One hit
That's
from
my
a
entire
dagger
point.
throw.
Alright.
From a
okay.
dagger.
Gets me right in the wherever she was aiming.
Alright. So
Hey,
it slams in
Alright.
right between your pecs, right in the sternum. And you're knocked backwards as this dagger. You look down. It's not poisoned, but it's definitely like serrated. It's definitely a finely made dagger, and she has aimed it very well.
in peace.
Bye.
Wow, a
Fine.
steamy didn't last very long.
Foreign.
Alright, where, are we right
Wow.
next to each other?
That's
Yeah, you're all right there.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna take my pike and, run it through her belly.
All right, let's see if you can.
Oh, that's cocked, actually.
Yeah, I'll plug it from here.
Alright, so that's a 20
That'll hit.
Yay.
for, not bad, 10
10. Nice.
piercing. And, I will mark her as a bonus action.
Nice.
And,
oh yes, thank you.
I guess that's
We get advantage?
No, but if she attacks anyone that's not him, we get to opportunity.
So
attack.
as
Oh, crap.
you stab in towards her belly, she moves out of the way and hooks her arm around the pike, so it scrapes against her side, and she says, "You, I can't do the accent now because I've been doing
Frenchman.
it. You want to dance that?"
Yes!
I've broken myself here with all the southern for the past
yeah,
several
well,
weeks.
it's the chult that's messing you up.
That's
too.
true, and I've been doing chult and to theer like crazy. So
If you want to be a Frenchman, like that.
I'm going to be a Frenchman, and she says to you, she says,
Whoa. Sorry, a
Whoa.
character who fails a DC 12 con save throw when struck by a flower shroud's thorn strand, which I
Yes.
did hit you, attack falls prone and goes into convulsions lasting 1d6 rounds.
Oh, okay.
6 rounds. Unless the poison effect is ended.
but it's only while under the poisoned condition.
If it doesn't give the poison
I
condition,
mean,
how could it
she
do that?
Let me
was
see
struck
it.
by the thing.
She was
read
struck
it.
by the thing.
Let me read
That
it.
sounds like loony.
It's pretty.
It's
loose.
a
They're
pretty
not
powerful.
They're not tough, and so they're
Yeah,
easy to
I
bring
will
down.
easily die.
But he's only got a +3 to hit, so he's not also hard to avoid. But if he hits,
It
he
hits.
gets 3 attacks.
I
These
get
things
3
are
attacks.
nasty,
So she's prone
and
for
they're
6
resistant
rounds.
to non-magical weapon damage.
Does that add up, or
It's
what?
interesting. I'm going to say it does add the poisoned condition then,
Okay.
because it says if they end the poisoned effect, and I think they mean poisoned condition.
Well, it's
It's
the
a third
yeah,
party, so they use different terminology. That's why they always say combat advantage instead of advantage.
Cool.
So I'm going to say it adds the poisoned condition.
Oh.
And that's what's doing it.
So-
However, she is immune to the poisoned condition.
Oh, of course she is.
Oh, so no.
So she's not prone.
She's not prone.
And she's not attacking us.
Well, she grabs onto the thing, and I'm
Right,
just
she
going
was
to say
saying
she's still
something.
using her guise then. And she hooks the pike under her elbow. She says, "Fine then. If you want to play, we'll play. And then I'll deal with your friends."
I'm just so happy that this is over.
Alright. And that puts us at a steam.
I will make my first death saving throw.
Alright.
That's a crit fail.
Yes!
Yikes!
I mean, no.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yikes.
Nice. So I've got
Can't help you there,
two
man.
death saves.
Alright, UI.
Yep, there
Yay.
Seeing my wizard friend convulsing on the ground,
Bye bye.
I feed him. Do you have a health potion?
we go. Sure do. Probably openly worn on my
I
person.
feed him his own health potion because I don't want to use my own.
Okay.
And then as he like opens his eyes or whatever, he's coughing or whatever, I'm gonna tell him, "This is not because I like you. It's because I like the black more."
Oh.
By the way, you can
He's
tell
bleeding.
after hitting him or after hitting her that she is definitely inundated
Not at all.
with certain poison effects. The poison damage you did also only dealt half.
Only done half. Okay.
Oops.
So
Did you just?
that puts us at
Nick just
excuse
her.
me.
So turning to you, she holding on
Slip out
that,
there.
that pike, she grabs on it and pulls herself closer to you, thrusting her dagger up towards your chest. And that's gonna be 16 to hit.
Oh
no!
No, it doesn't hit, or no,
it
that's
doesn't hit.
okay. And then she takes.
All right, we'll give her a
She
second.
grabs another dagger from behind her belt and slashes it up towards your throat for a 23.
Oh, yeah.
That hits.
I'll do it. And
Alright,
there's
and
most of
that's
my
okay.
health.
You're such a weirdo.
There's most
That's
of my health.
not. Oh, I rolled the wrong thing. I was rolling a thing instead of a thing. Alright, then
hate it
she
when that
deals
happens.
20 piercing damage with that dagger.
And now I can do a couple things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Alright,
nice.
Thaddeus.
I'm. Wow. I'm gonna use my divine sense
Okay.
on her. Actually, as my
You don't
as my
sense
turn.
anything.
She's not
you're-
okay. Yeah, I
She's
watched.
not. I understand where
Yeah,
you're going. She's not.
I watched
fiend.
all the poison and stuff happen and not work, and so yeah, I was definitely checking that.
She's neither fiend nor undead. Or
That was an action, wasn't it? That's
Yeah.
a bummer. Oh well.
Oh, poopy.
Wow.
Oh well.
Alright.
So there you go. That's my turn.
So, at the end of your turn, she's gotten real close to you. She slashed across your throat
Yeah.
and then pulls her arm around to try to stab you right in the back near the top of the spinal cord.
Legendary.
So, yeah, this is her legendary. She only gets one each turn. Oh, that's the wrong thing. An 18 to hit.
Yeah, but if she hits me, I'm gonna die. So I'm gonna
You gonna
make her
take it?
re-roll.
Alright, let's see. Another 18.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just have to take it.
She deals 20 total piercing damage.
Everybody get an attack on her for free
Yeah.
as I
Is
go
that
down.
is that your dire one or whatever?
Yeah, it was
Nice.
just to
Yeah.
rehash
Ah,
that.
I missed.
Immovable object. Or no,
Yeah.
that's not a movable object. Sorry. Decisive retribution.
That's
All
the one,
allies
yeah.
within 10 feet may immediately
Well,
take a single
probably
turn each in initiative order, but
Yeah, and it's not just an attack. It's everyone can take a single turn.
Oh,
Oh,
snap! So I
yeah.
can just swing 3 times.
Right, so
And
whenever your turn
Oh,
is
good.
in
And that-
initiative order. So, we'll come back to Osborne because it's going to be your turn next.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep
But let's
that roll.
start with, so you'll be last, Esteem will be last, and then we'll go back to Osborne. So, UI.
Oh, I throw my axe and it hits the wall. Then I go to punch her in the face, and then I also punch the wall and grab my axe and throw it, and then I
Punch
go
the wall, grab the axe, swing back around.
grab my axe. I act like it never happened.
Alright, Thaddeus.
Well, I've got a 19 to hit
It'll hit.
with my spear, and so swinging in with my spear, then I'm gonna just stab towards her, and as I do so, the tip of the spear ignites with holy
All right.
flame. As I say, "Stand away from that man," and then stab in for 19 damage.
Nice. So, is that a
That
divine
was,
smite?
that was with a smite, yes.
Nice, alright, cool.
So 14 of that was radiant, Because I rolled a 1 on my damage die.
For the record, by the way, the radiant piercing difference won't matter.
Okay, excellent.
But yeah, so you stab into her. The searing light starts to burn against her wound. She screams and howls, whipping back around. That's gonna put us then at Osborne.
I accidentally pre-rolled this, but
That's okay.
Okay.
You were already.
all right. That's 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
She takes 6 damage.
Okay.
That's just piercing, no poison to
Right.
it.
Alright, and have those other
Yeah, and
And
piercing
then the other
poison
2.
does matter.
Okay. I'm just not rolling the poison.
Well,
Or, I don't do poison damage. My poison technically just makes them convulse.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, and then they
Or
take
she
poison
takes
damage at the
D6
start of our
damage if
turn.
she fails. So I mean, we could still do that.
I mean, yeah, if she fails
Okay,
to save
then
it,
yeah.
it'll
Alright.
only be half of it. but still, it's
Then
damage.
19,
That'll hit.
14.
That 14 will not.
Okay, well here's the 19. 6 damage.
Okay.
So make 2 DC 12 saves.
All right. 16 and 16.
All right. Yeah, that's in
Alright. Then that puts us back to.
my. Should be me.
Alright, then I'll stand up and then attempt to shock and grasp her. Excuse me.
Alright.
Does
Oh,
a
nice.
15 do it?
A 15 will do it.
Okay,
Ah!
that's 8
Okay.
lightning damage.
Eight
Ooh,
lightning
look
damage.
at you
Nice.
with your
Attempting
max
to
roll.
stun her down.
Nice. All right. Which puts us, and since she only gets 1 legendary action per turn, I'm gonna say she doesn't get it since she can't use reactions from Shocking Grasp. So I'm gonna say she doesn't get that this turn.
Nice.
All right. So that puts us
Who's the
at
Frenchman here?
Osborne. We're back to Osborne for real this time.
Do
Is
some
she-
more stuff.
Is she looking
Injured?
She looks bloody.
Oh, she does.
That's
Okay.
good.
Then I'm gonna
I did 19.
just go.
All right.
Brute
Uh,
force.
I'm gonna say that's cocked, even though I
Uh-huh.
really like that
it's,
roll.
It's cocked.
Oh, that's worse. Only 1 hits.
Oh.
Poopy.
6 damage.
All right.
DC 12.
Let's see. 16. She's been consistent on those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
Well, I tried.
All right, Farin.
Alright.
Make that save.
All right.
11.
There you go. You passed it.
That's 16. I will continue grasping at her, I think. Well, you know what? She's at half health. I'm going to attempt to try to grapple her.
Okay. Roll an athletics.
You should probably let the shroud. Never mind.
And I'll, before I do that, pull out my manacles from
Okay,
my
yeah.
pack here.
And yeah, if you're using your action to grapple,
Okay.
I would say you can. If you succeed by 5 or more, you can hit her with the manacles.
Probably not. I got a 3.
All right, she got a 12. So as you come in to grapple her, you come in and she sees you starting to wrap around her, and she leans back against the chair with both of her arms and kicks up with her legs into your chest, kicking off of your chest and flip back in a sort of a round off over the chair.
Okay, the shroud is a little impressed by this.
Yeah, UI.
Do you have a health potion?
I don't have my character sheet with me.
I have
don't-
Care
I don't
Wounds.
think I do.
I have one. Not.
This is what happens if you don't carry your character sheet.
It's in my car.
I go and feed you my only
Okay,
health
great.
potion.
Okay.
My only health potion. I feed it to you.
Oh, yay, okay.
I look really sad about it.
Alright, well, I don't know that.
He's unconscious.
You get 2d6.
Do I roll it, or?
2d.
2d4 plus
2d4
2.
plus 2, yeah. Alright, that makes it her turn then.
Bummer.
I lost one.
Wow, that was terrible.
You've been hitting her a lot, although you just did the
Shameful.
most damage to her, so she's going to turn back around to Thaddeus.
Let's go.
I would rather her hit me.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
I
Me
didn't
too.
see that.
But
It's a good thing I haven't been applying that.
Oh, thank God.
Alright, Thaddeus, she crits you.
What's that?
I'm not going to apply the thing I haven't been applying.
okay,
No, she doesn't. I'm conscious.
that's
oh,
true.
You're conscious now.
And then the warlord's like,
Alright.
"Well, you suck."
22 instead.
Okay, that's not a crit.
And a 21 with her second attack.
Oh, that's not great.
Well, at least you soaked up 2 hits for us.
I'm really sad I didn't have one more spell slot.
Also, my mark is still on her.
Oh,
So,
You don't have to be conscious to have that work.
it's not concentration?
I'll read it to you.
Oh, it's definitely
I don't
not.
Has
think
hunger-
you
It's
have
a
to-
concentration.
Listen.
thing.
I think it's as long as no one else marks her.
It lasts until the creature dies, until the target isn't within reach, until the marking creature makes an attack that does not include the creature.
Oh,
the
snap,
target,
I get to
so
hit
far.
her.
Or until the target is marked by a new creature.
There you go.
Okay,
Wow.
so
the
it-
first attack deals 20 piercing
I'm
damage.
I'm still up, baby.
We all get an opportunity attack.
For free.
Of course, for
No
me, that doesn't mean a
reaction.
whole
6
lot.
damage.
6 damage?
I got nothing. on that one.
So is it my whole
And
attack
make
or
a
just
DC 12.
reaction?
This one
it's
is
a-
just an attack.
It's a reaction. It's not an actual reaction, but it's an attack.
So I can make an attack too.
Yeah.
15 hits, right?
I don't
15
think
will
I
hit.
would be much use.
Just about to say.
I rolled a 20, by the way, so
9
it's
piercing.
off 20.
9 piercing.
24. is what I
24 hit.
5.
5.
Whatever axes are.
Slashing, I think.
Yeah.
Hand axes. Yeah.
I did not make an attempt.
I missed.
All right.
It would have been
So yeah, she takes that damage and then slices her dagger straight up your chest, grinding against your chainmail,
Ow.
slashing through your tunic, and then up through your Adam's apple, and that's gonna deal 22 piercing damage.
Well, that was another attack, so I guess.
Yeah, and then that's another one.
Right.
So that is a
I
considerably
missed.
better.
15 again.
All right, nice.
Okay, that time I got her.
For your attack
My-
of
I missed.
opportunity booster.
My last great
13.
13?
string.
Damage, you mean?
13 piercing.
I make a
I got her.
opportunity.
I got her for 9.
9? Do you
I'm
want to
sorry,
smite on
I'm
that?
marketing.
I can't.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll-
out of slots.
All right.
15.
15 hits.
Oh, come on.
7.
All right. Roll me d20.
Whoa!
3.
All right.
The light rebuke you.
Take your axe and you slap it against the side of her cheek. It knocks her aside, and you see a tooth go flying as she spits out some blood, but she still seems to be conscious.
And Thaddeus goes down.
All right, Osborne.
I'm
Oh, well, I
aiming-
guess it's technically Thaddeus. I was just
Oh,
confused,
right.
you know, so
The-
Thaddeus.
Come on with the crit. That is a 3.
That was impressive.
All
Thank
right, So one fail, Osborne.
One fail.
Going to try to knock unconscious.
Okay.
I'm just gonna uppercut her and see if I can get her to knock her unconscious. That was cocked.
It's cocked. I can.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
An 18
That'll hit.
as well as a 21.
That'll also hit.
Cool.
All right. How do you knock her unconscious? She had 1 HP.
I wish I had a
Noticing
sneak.
Thaddeus fell, I stand over him and go, and just punch her straight across the jaw.
She sort of wavers for a moment. Her
Then I-
daggers clatter to the ground.
I grab her before she could.
And then she falls down and you lands in your leafy arms.
I
And
will
then I
manacle
turn-
her.
And kiss.
Maybe. Maybe.
All right.
I'm gonna relieve her of any form of.
I heard it. It was-
Really?
it was-
Thank you.
There,
Relief.
suddenly the door flies open and you see Nullius standing there, and he says, "Oh my, what is it you've done here?"
Well, perhaps you could ask her what she has done here.
Well then, I hope you've got the evidence then, because it's time for the judge to make his judgment. Come with me.
I sling her up on my back.
Thaddeus is
I
still
take
unconscious on the
a-
ground.
I take a golden,
Lamb hands.
Thank you.
a golden hair from her head,
All right.
and I keep it.
He says, "Right, get up, my brother." He helps you up and he says, "Come now. We have a meeting we must go to. Let us show this judge who the murderer is. You can fill me in on the way." And with that, we'll cut to break.
Woohoo! Thank
Come to the
you for
restroom.
watching.
Scene.
We'll be back in 10 minutes.
It might be a little longer than 10 this time. It
Yeah.
might be like 15.
Who knows?